This will be video and audio, right?
Yeah.
This will be video and audio. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, yeah! It's that Thursday feeling, everyone. It's Thursday afternoon. You know what that means. It's time for the BGB's podcast. Episode 51. We are so close to doing this for one solid year. Incredible. I'm one of your hosts, John Warren. With me is my forever co-host, Niki Grayson. You got wrapped up in
the audio cable.
Audio cables. And with us today is a very special guest, one of the owners of GiantBomb.com. The one, the only. I've never had a conversation with this man in my life, and I'm so excited.
Is that true?
To be having. Not really.
I shook your hand before you got on the couch at SGF. And I said,
you did.
Good to have you here.
You did.
Yeah.
But Dan Ryckert, I'm so excited to have you on the show.
I'm excited to be here, and it's still weird hearing the co-owner thing because that feels like a very grown-up thing. Yeah. You know what? It does feel grown up for y'all. It does, which is not something I feel often.
Does it feel different than owning a car? I guess probably because the car
talk
doesn't
to us about that.
keep
I don't
you
ever
alive.
have to. I don't think about the car, and I use it maybe once or twice a week to drive like 10 minutes to an appointment or something. So like the car occupies almost none of my mind share. But the job and Giant Bomb, especially lately, has taken up pretty much all waking hours, and from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed, kind of thinking about it or doing something with it. So, but it's good. I find it much more interesting than my car.
Yeah,
that's huge.
I don't care about my car really. I just want it to get me where I'm going. Yeah. The site
should be an appliance.
Yeah, Giant Bomb is an important thing that I find very interesting to me. Yes.
Like an air fryer.
I'd say above the air fryer.
Above the air fryer.
I love my air fryer. Holy shit! I got 2 Domino's pizzas for myself this weekend, and they air fried better than they were straight from Domino's. But Giant Bomb is better than that air fryer, that Kosori air fryer.
Put that on the back of the fucking box.
Put that on the back
of the
box.
website.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think we have boxes for it.
On the shelf.
On the shelf for the website. I don't know about you, but when I turn on my computer, there's a big shelf. And it's all the websites that I could go on.
Oh, yeah.
And I reach in and I grab one, and it's the giantbomb.com.
Well, you know how you'd watch now I'm older than both of you, I assume, but you'd watch Double Dare and be like,
not
much.
You're just older than me.
Yeah,
I think you and John are the same age.
Where are we at? Where are we at, John?
I turned 40 in about a month.
I turned 41 in a month, so less than a month. So I got you beat. So I'm the oldest here. You're not part of my generation, John. You wouldn't know, but Double Dare, and you'd watch Jeopardy or something. You could win the home game, or here's the Double Dare and Nickelodeon Guts home game. They should do that for websites.
They should do that for
I agree.
websites.
The Giant Bomb home game or the home site.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was yesterday years old when I found out that Rift Tracks has a Nintendo Switch game. I saw Wario 64 go, Rift Tracks, the Switch game. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I've never seen that in my life.
Tracks?
It's like a Jackbox situation. I think I might have played it. I think it's there's that What the Dub game where it's it shows you a clip from an old movie and you kind of got a Jackbox thing in there. I think it's a similar deal as that.
Right.
Yeah. I saw Wario 64 post today about there's a new free-to-play Warhammer typing of the Dead game.
Yes.
Which, I have heard
I got
the
an
words
email for that.
Yeah, I've heard the words Warhammer in many contexts for more years than I'd like. And I've never once thought ooh, cool. But then I heard this and I thought, ooh, cool, because typing of the Dead is one of the coolest things I've ever seen come out of this industry.
We've talked about this actually a couple times on the show, but whoever is running the licensing game for Warhammer is doing a great job because they've just become this okay, we want one in every genre. They've had a combat racer, a fucking Baldur's Gate typing of the Dead. It's
a party game. Get a Warhammer party game. Warhammer party
game.
War party.
War party. Yeah.
I love the idea of there being. They don't. Okay. They just don't teach kids how to type it. I have a lot of questions about what you got at Sonic, brother. So we'll bring it back.
Shit.
Hold on. But we went from. I think I was actually the last generation of kids that learned how to type at school because my sister, who is 8 years younger than me, was not taught how to type.
Does she do this thing?
She doesn't hunt and peck with like 2 fingers, but she's not using home row.
Right.
So the way she's typing is like not ergonomic, and it's not like I don't know, but she can type pretty fast. But I can definitely type faster than she can. Yeah. There is now, I guess, a world where a teenager who has heard of Warhammer, who has played Vermintide, will learn how to be a better typist because of this Warhammer typing game.
Warhammer is the modern Mavis Beacon.
A lot of people are
Many
saying
people are saying that.
A lot.
They should put that on the back of their box.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Are the kids today typing on keyboards, or are they just doing phone stuff?
No, they have Lappy. They have Lappy.
Yeah. Okay. They're still like writing.
They have an iPad keyboard. My sister has
virtual ones.
She goes to school. She will type on computer.
I saw a Twitch streamer yesterday that was around your age, Nikki, who had wireless keyboard on lap and computer on big monitor. So it was weird. I was like, okay, so
wireless keyboard, like sitting on couch?
Sitting on couch, yes.
Oh, and then like a laptop situation.
Yeah.
Got it.
So they're still using keyboards.
Yeah,
for
people
sure.
use keyboards.
Okay. I still have this weird thing, like anytime, like you're describing like kids in school now, and in my head, kids never went back to school after the pandemic.
After the pandemic,
I'm not. It's not even like a.
No. I get what you're saying. Like I actually understand it. Yeah.
In the same way that like I have not like since like March 16th, 2020 or whatever, I have not worked in an office. I've worked in person events from time to time, but like not in an office. And so like I kind of forget that people went back to offices and work and stuff. But like I've gone to like Target and I see people there, and still in my head it's just like 2020 happened, and now kids are on Zoom, and then we all sit at our computers for work.
Yeah, forever.
I know that's not right, but in my head that's the world I see.
No, for sure. Yeah, no, my sister was in the 11th grade during the her senior year was pandemic year of high school.
Ooh,
so when
that's rough. I didn't realize that.
Tough one.
Yeah, that's tough.
When is that true? Because I graduated in 2013.
Did you make stuff up?
No, that's true.
Okay.
So when she started at USC, that was like the semester. It was the first semester back, where it was like weird, like it was like 60-40 was the split. You had like a bunch of all of your classes were hybrid, but you still did have to come into school sometimes. And then as she has finished her collegiate career, she is now back in class all the time. All classes are back in person. They deeply do not want you to have a hybrid class or an online class, even though they had it and it worked great for people prior.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah.
So yeah.
I had the fun thing where the pandemic happened when I 2 months into working at WWE. And
that's crazy.
Yeah. So it's like I was living in Stamford, and the whole idea was, okay, we'll live in Stamford in an apartment for a year while we house hunt, and then we'll find a house around Stamford because I'm going to be going into the office every day producing stuff. And the 2 months then pandemic hits, I'm producing podcasts from my closet. And pretty soon after that, we get a Zoom call from Stephanie McMahon saying like, good news. It's been a couple months of this work from home thing now. So it is now, we are a work from home, indefinite, like, you can work wherever you're at, you can work for us, whatever. And I remember going in to tell Bianca afterwards, like, hey, I think we can expand the radius. They said we can, it's work from home indefinitely. And so we went like way outside. We went to Danbury, which is kind of it's quite a hike. You wouldn't want to do that every day.
Yeah.
And then so we bought a house in Danbury. And then like a couple months in, it's like another meeting with Nick Khan being like, we need to return to the office immediately. We have just bought this giant building in Stamford, Connecticut. Great. Everyone needs to work. It's like, oh, motherfuckers. God, this sucks.
Great. That's awesome.
Yep. Cool stuff.
That's how it kind of was for Zam/Fanbyte. They built this fucking they built this fucking huge campus, this 10-cent campus,
campus
in Playa Vista. And
Which, to be clear, I need to be so clear. I need to be so clear.
yeah.
This
Yeah.
is an office that Facebook moved into and moved out of almost immediately.
Why?
Yeah.
Didn't like it.
That's bad
Literally
office.
it.
Okay.
Just
Yeah,
like not
yeah.
a great
Not a
zone.
great office.
I was working at Full Screen, which is a company that I'm pretty sure doesn't exist anymore. It was like a YouTube multi-channel network.
Yep.
It was basically a company that stole money from teenagers.
Hell yeah. All right. So a cool company.
So
I'm in.
A cool company. But they built it was one of the first buildings that they built over in Playa Vista. Playa Vista is built on one of the West Coast's largest underground stores of methane. So if at any point there is a fire in Playa Vista, the whole thing goes up. They
How they not made a movie about it? They made a movie about a
That's a great
volcano in
question.
Los Angeles
Absolutely.
before this.
I think
Wow.
they're gonna wait maybe for the explosion to happen. When
Oh,
they
sure.
built
Then it's a
Playa
documentary.
Vista, then it's a
Yeah.
documentary. When they
Yeah,
built
yeah.
Playa Vista, at first they started with the housing, which is a crazy way to go about it.
It's okay if families go
It's
first.
okay, yeah. Because
Like,
anyway,
that works for like lifeboats, not for methane.
not for methane
based
fields.
housing. Yeah.
Anyway, so they were starting to build where the 10-cent corridor is, and it was the Instagram home office, and it was like the LA office for Instagram, and then other Meta stuff started to move over there. I think Oculus might still be over there, but they moved out just shortly pre-pandemic,
Yes.
and then pandemic happened, and then 10-cent was like, never been a better time. We've
Never
gotta
been a
get
better
in.
time. So we went remote really fast, but there was this very tense kind of like relationship. Like, well, at some point you should go in this new office because we are gonna pay for it, and we're gonna pay for it for like next 10 years at least. So we gotta probably get our money's worth, And then we went and visited. It's fucking rancid. Like it was set
Horrible.
up terribly. There were like no windows.
It is impossible to build an office over there that doesn't have windows, and in 10-cent's infinite wisdom,
Yeah,
they did.
they did it.
Penguin
Okay, so-
outside though.
A penguin?
There is a penguin outside. Yeah,
With
the
a
Tinson
shoot
penguin.
penguin?
Not a shoot-
No,
not a shoot
working.
penguin.
I mean,
Oh,
it's a
it's a work
shoot penguin
penguin.
insofar it is a real penguin, but it is not a real
No, wait,
living
hold on.
penguin.
No.
Nikki, wait, whoa. No.
It's a
Nikki,
real penguin.
No,
you
no.
cannot look at the penguin and say that's not a real penguin. It
Is it
simply
walking around, waddling, and eating things?
No.
It's not a penguin like
It's not. But it
Benedict
isn't.
Cumberbatch would
It's
say.
not a working penguin because it's like.
Does it have a beating heart?
So is the only difference? Hold
Penguins
on.
a fucking work.
Okay, Nikki, do you know? Like now, this is a great time, the perfect episode. What is the difference between shoot and work?
No.
now?
Here's my question.
Okay, all right.
Is Mickey Mouse at Disneyland shoot or work?
Work.
That's shoot Mickey.
No, it's not shoot, Mickey.
If it was a living rat named Mickey that ran around, then that's a
That's
shoot
Shoot
Mickey.
Mickey.
Yeah.
But
he is a fictional character.
Does it stop being? I think it's shoot Mickey maybe between the ages of 2 and
But that's
13.
like saying shoot Santa Claus. It doesn't mean it's a shoot. It's kind of a worked shoot. Like if you're a parent, Santa is a worked shoot. Like
yeah,
you know
Santa's
it's a
a
work,
work
but you're
shoot.
trying
Correct.
to
Okay.
you're trying to do a work
Yeah,
shoot with your kid.
yeah,
That's your pipe
yeah.
bomb with the kids.
I just wanted to maybe give personhood to this penguin because it was the best part of The Office.
It was the best part of the office. It was the best part of the office for sure.
The lunch,
You know what?
lunchroom.
You know what? It was the worst. It was the best part of the office, except for the room where they pulled me in to yell at me once.
That was
because
unpleasant.
I had never been in that room in my life, and it only existed. I think for me to be pulled
get
into to
yelled
be
at.
yelled at.
There were months of there were simply not enough desks for the number of people that worked at the company when
Which
they
is
asked us
crazy.
to move in. Like
Yeah.
they just did not count the number of people who worked there, and then they put fewer desks inside. They kept calling it the fluid vessel. Which I don't think is a pair of words that John has heard in maybe 4 years.
I haven't heard it in a long
You
time.
can't just do that.
You can't just
do
do
that.
that.
But they
No.
called it the fluid vessel, and
Yeah.
I swear to God, there were more walls in that office than any
Yeah.
office of that shape. There were fewer walls in the old office which was in a traditional office building than there were.
It was like as closed a concept as your grandmother's house that you visited when you were
it was awful
when you were 5. Like
Can I-
Can
I get theories? We're talking about grandparents' houses, and this is a thing that I've asked many people and never gotten a satisfactory answer here.
Okay.
Okay, so my grandparents, my father's parents, used to spend a lot of time at their house. They had a living room, as a lot of houses are wont to do, and they had their main TV, and they had the recliners. This is where you watched everything. It was the TV room, you know. But the VCR, and they had this house built, so they made this decision. Somebody made this decision. The VCR, keep in mind this is the early mid '90s. I'm going over there. You have to go down the hall, like take a turn, and then like find like there's like a library that you'd go into, and you had to open up a cabinet underneath the encyclopedias, and that's where the VCR was. So
and the
if you had
VCR
to,
was connected to the television,
so like
through the
several
house?
rooms away. Yes. So if you need to pause while you're taking a leak, you are going to another like area of the house, pausing it, going to the bathroom, going back to the library, unpausing, going to the.
crazy.
What possible reasoning is there?
Money. That feels like a scam from the people who were building the house, where they were like, "How luxurious! You will have your television and nothing connected.
Nothing
It's just going to be
else.
clean.
It's just
going to be
clean, just the TV, and we're gonna put the VCR. It's not even that far.
It's not that far.
It's not that far. It's just a
You
couple
know?
of rooms. You just have to. How frequently do you piss? Not that frequently.
I mean, but every time you rent the movie, you're going into this other damn room. You could not piss ever and it's still a pain in the ass.
This is what the construction people are saying.
Okay,
when
and I
they're
could see them
selling
trying to
the
work my
house.
grandparents because they were not technologically minded people.
Yeah, no, I feel like that is simply like it will cost more because we'll have to run a cable all the way through the walls.
And we can charge them
From
for it and
that
they
room,
won't
we
know.
can charge them for that. They're not going to know. We get
Yeah.
to say that the setup looks clean. It's like the first like cable-less setup.
It's like
And
when
then-
like door to door people would come to my mom's house and be like, "Oh, you've got hard water. You need to spend thousands on this thing. It'll make your water soft." I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know we had hard water. I don't know why it's bad, but this guy seems pretty confident about it." Yeah, put in the soft water filter or whatever.
soft water filter.
Yeah,
That's tough.
God. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
that's
I
tough.
feel it would be nuts. Well, I guess like the air conditioner is the same way for me though. Like
Going to a different room?
Well, yeah, because this house is old. This old house. The thermostat is in this room where I am, which is frequently colder than my room because my room has windows on 3 of the 4 sides.
Right.
So it gets 10 degrees for just 10
Like,
degrees hotter in
absolutely.
there.
I totally get it.
So
Yep.
I have to, and the thermostat, because it's in here, no idea. It has no idea. It's like, it's cool as fuck in this house.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So I frequently have to come in here to crank the thermostat down by the 10-degree gap that I'm identifying, which probably isn't good for the
House, the
house,
electricity.
but I don't, it's not my house.
That's not
sure.
It's not my house and I don't pay for the electricity.
Yeah. It's right.
Yeah,
approach.
no,
cares?
my office is 10 degrees cooler than the hallway right outside, which
Yeah.
is where the thermostat is.
Yeah.
So when I got home today from an appointment, it was 77 degrees in that hallway.
That's crazy.
So
It's too hot inside.
it was very hot in this room. So I did have
I'm
to
looking
turn
at
it down.
67 degrees. That's what I want. All of
Yeah,
it.
no, it should just never
67.
move. That's correct.
We live in fucking Minnesota, and when we go to
Yeah.
bed, we have a screen door in our bedroom. We open it at like in January. It'll be
yeah.
negative 10
That's
out,
the
and we will
dream.
leave.
Wow.
And we because we got a
That's
bed
the
that like heats up and stuff, so we just
Yeah.
it makes you feel like a little hot pocket. And so we get in there and just like, but in the morning it sucks ass though because you know
I
the
was
second
about
you
to
get
say.
out,
You have to get out.
Yeah, it's
Well,
rough.
that'll wake you up. That keeps
Bonk
you
always
young.
gets up way before me, so it's like, and she's not a baby about it like I am, so it works.
Nah, it
I'm a
keeps you young.
huge baby about that in the morning. Huge
Yeah.
baby. Can you turn up the L, please?
Yep.
Do you?
Yep.
Are you?
I hate it.
And maybe just I guess approach this how you want.
Okay.
You get in the shower. Good morning.
Good morning. Okay.
Are you pinning the thing? Are you modulating the temperature of that shower over the course of the shower, or are you
Yes.
getting in and leaving it at the temperature you've set it to the whole time?
That's a great question, Nikki. I get in and it is a manageable, like if I step in and it's getting on my head and back, which are my most temperature sensitive parts of my body, it's going to be at a baseline lower. I immediately wash my hair.
Okay.
Then shower gets so hot it would melt the skin off of like a normal person.
Yeah, no,
and
for
it's going to be like that for the duration of the shower.
Okay, got it.
So it
Dan?
starts a little cool and then
Cool.
it goes
Up.
atomic. Yeah.
Okay.
I turn it on and I put it in the fairly hot. I like it, and I put my hand in there until I know it's hot enough. And I get in, take the shower. Don't really mess with it at all, unless sometimes in the morning it does help me to wake up to like right at the end when I'm totally done with everything.
Yeah.
I just crank it and I wait for it to turn cold, and I get a good like 4 or 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Of like and I put my head under it and I turn it off, and then I get out. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what I do. It is now hot in Los Angeles. So it is, the temperature of the showers has on average come down. I take a shower twice. In the daytime, the daytime shower is cooler. No. The daytime shower is still hot. The nighttime shower is the one that has cooled down.
Okay.
But in the daytime shower, I'm cranking it similarly to you, Dan.
Wow.
All the way down.
Crank it in the shower. We're really
I mean,
going.
It doesn't work.
Sorry. You know what?
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
We
You
can't
cannot
talk about
crank
this,
it in
but
the-
we can't.
You can't crank it in the shower. It doesn't work for me.
I think you can.
It doesn't work for me.
It doesn't work for me.
There's
doesn't
no
work
way to
for me.
know. There's no way to
There's
know.
no way to know.
Water stuff
it-
doesn't work. It's
it
overrated.
doesn't work
it's
for me.
It's a thing in the movies that they've lied to you about. It's not really a thing. All right,
I
go
think the
ahead.
only
Anyway.
movie I've seen that deals with cranking in the shower is American Beauty. I think has the
Yeah,
scene
yeah,
where
yeah.
he
Does
jerks off in
anything
the
bad
shower.
happen in that one?
Is it-
No, every
What's that
actor
guy
that was
up-
in it.
what's that guy up to?
Winning Oscars probably.
So I crank it hot
Okay.
or cold at the beginning of the daytime shower, and then the nighttime shower, I'm
It's
cranking it
reversed?
as hot as possible.
Okay.
So when I step out, I'm still kind of warm.
Got it.
And
Okay.
then I envelop myself in the towel.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Well,
Any other? Oh, what'd you get
This-
at Sonic?
well, so this is a cherry limeade.
Yeah, of course. Gotta.
The classic.
I got
Sonic.
I got a double smasher, which is
Oh, from
basically their
television.
Freddy's burger. Essentially,
How was it?
It was not a Freddy's burger. It was very mid. And then they
Kind of
did
like
not salt it.
maybe like a 2 nights. At
They did
Freddy's
not.
Situation.
It was a 2 nights at Freddy's, and they did not salt the tater tots.
Ooh.
So it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Do they still have cheddar bites? Because I was a big cheddar bites guy growing up.
Yes,
It's like Toys R Us, but cheddar bites.
Yeah. Wait,
Cheddar
but is that
bites.
just like a cheese curd?
I mean, maybe. I don't think we
Kind
knew
of.
about cheese curds in Kansas. I'm sure they'd call it that up here, but I think they
Yeah.
were basically cheese curds, but fried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look right.
I looked it up. Cheddar bites are still at Sonic. They put the apostrophes around the R. Yeah, that's good stuff.
That's good. That's what you want.
Yeah.
I don't know why did Sonic go blue? Did y'all notice that? At some point it went blue. Like the branding went blue. Did they do that because
Were
of the
they-
hedgehog?
No, the
Were
words
they
are still
red?
red. The words are still
The
red.
reds are still red, but everything around it.
Oh, it used to be yellow though.
It used to be
There
yellow,
there
and now
to
it
be a
is
yellow in there. You're
and
right.
now it is blue.
Oh.
It's the color of Dan's shirt.
Is it is it to try to kind of get on the coattails of Sonic the Hedgehog?
That's kind of what I assume. I assume that they're kind of cheekily doing that.
That makes sense.
So they rebranded in 2020, in February of 2020. So
Did they not do a chili cheese dog with?
They did. That was their
Sonic?
whole thing. Was the foot long
They did
chili
that,
cheese dog?
right?
That was
Okay.
I would always get a foot long chili cheese dog, and I would get the cheddar bites. That was my go-to.
Yeah.
but
But they
there
didn't.
was
But they
no
didn't tie it
Sonic
in though
collaboration,
to
though.
Sonic, right?
They didn't what?
Because they didn't tie
Oh,
it
Sonic the
into
Hedgehog?
Sonic,
No,
though.
they had no idea the comic existed. No.
Which is crazy.
But that's kind of in the weeds Sonic shit, where it's
I
like,
guess so.
I didn't ever read the Sonic comic book or anything, and you wouldn't know
Yeah.
playing like the Genesis games. So like the Sonic Drive-In
That's
folks
true.
didn't know. Yeah,
That's true.
So I'm on inspirebrands.com, which is the holding
Okay.
company for Sonic the Hedgehog. Nope, for Sonic
Nope.
Drive-In.
There you go.
I believe it's Sega owns Sonic the Hedgehog. Yes,
yeah,
yes.
that's true. And this is from July of 2020. So heart of the Pandorama.
Sure.
And they built their first new store in Tahlequah, Oklahoma. Is that how you say it?
Yep, I would
Sure.
say so.
So that was the first one. It had 18 docks, a drive-through, and a covered outdoor patio. It looks, it's nice. Like it looks like a nice Sonic.
And Sonic's got a good look to it. I think the whole the
Yeah.
drive-in gimmick is like it's got its own thing.
Yeah,
You know.
that's nice.
But
Yeah,
here's
yeah.
here's what they say. The exterior of the drive-in highlights Sonic's new brand identity with pops of red, blue, and a bit of yellow, reminding guests that summertime is a feeling, not just a season.
Oh, what are we doing?
Yeah.
So that's what they've got
What are
going
we
on.
doing?
That's what
Seems
that's why they got rid of the
unnecessary.
yellow,
What are we doing?
and now it's more blue because summer is blue
I think it's summer being yellow because of the sun.
because of the
because
sun.
of the sun.
Yeah.
Because of the sun. How are the Taco Bell chicken things? Are those good?
They're really good. I've had 3 waves of them now between the first wave in the Minneapolis test market. I was very blessed to that was right when I moved
Lucky,
back here.
yeah.
And they were great. I think they were out to impress because it was the test market thing. So it was like those were the best wave. They came back for a second wave. They were significantly worse, but I think I DoorDashed them and it might have taken a while. I was like maybe the 3rd customer or something. So they were not great, but I had them last weekend and they were fantastic. The Bell sauce, the hot ranch, the Hidden Valley stuff, that's really good. So it's like they are now my favorite nugget and fry place on top of being just my favorite place.
nuts.
That's wild. That's wild.
It's very good.
That's wild. I
For
do.
$1 million.
I fuck with their cantina chicken. So
I
hard.
do.
The
I
quesadilla
love
is very good.
Yeah,
the cantina
I-
quesadilla. Yep.
I fuck with that stuff. All right, Nikki,
Yep.
what were you
For
gonna
$1 million.
Yes.
Can you give me the other 4 brands? And then I swear to God, listen, and we'll talk about a video game. But I need the other 4 brands underneath the Inspire Foods
Oh. Okay.
umbrella.
I don't think we're
So
going to go 4 for
Sonic
4,
is-
but
Sonic
let's,
is one of them.
Let's shotgun blast. I'm not even going to pretend I could get 4 for 4, so I'm just going to
For
say
sure.
stuff.
Yeah.
Carl's Jr.
No.
Not Hardee's then. Okay.
No. Dan? Or, sorry, John? We'll go back and forth.
Yeah.
Oh, what about Golden Chick?
You made that one up. Would you like to submit a real
I didn't make that one up. That's a real one, but no. Okay, that's fine.
Jack in the Box.
No. You each get 5 guesses.
Okay.
So, Dan, you're at 2 guesses.
Dairy Queen.
Incorrect.
Del Taco.
Ooh, no.
Oh man.
Great guess, but no.
Thank you.
Oh, Taco Bueno.
No. John.
Taco
maybe
John's.
We're real.
Taco John's.
Come on! I'm not going to count either of those. You know it's not Taco John's or Taco Bueno.
Why do I
Taco
not know
Bueno.
that?
Why do I not know that? Taco
Why wouldn't we
Bueno's
know that?
big.
All right, they count then. Guess number 4.
Shit.
Fuck. PJ's Coffee.
Oh my God. No.
These aren't bad guesses.
They're not good ones.
What a burger. What a burger.
Now that's a great one. It is not, but that is the exact tier that you should be aiming for.
Ooh.
Wait,
And
so are you saying Taco
unfortunately,
John's and Taco Bueno are above or below that?
They're below it.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
Wow.
right
Okay,
on that.
right, okay.
All right, John, this is your last one. Because you blew them all on fucking PJ Masks Coffee House or whatever the fuck.
PJ's Mask Coffee House?
Yeah, PJ Masks is a children's television program.
Oh, got it.
There's a parrot in their car laughing their ass off right now.
Caillou. Let's see. Shit. One more guess. Why I just drove through the American South. Why can't I think of a fast food place?
They have all of these. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4 of them have national television
Spots?
advertisements right now.
Wingstop.
Oh, John, you are so close, brother.
Oh, all right.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, I had another one. Okay, for the record, I was going to say Steak and Shake, but because of what you just said, Nikki, I'm going to say Buffalo Wild Wings.
That is exactly correct. Dan. Congratulations. It is
Damn.
it is Arby's, Baskin Robbins,
Oh.
Buffalo
Oh.
Wild Wings, Dunkin' Donuts, Jimmy
Oh.
John's, and Sonic.
Oh, these are way
Oh.
bigger than I think I was. Like,
Oh,
if
those
I
are
would have known
way
they were
bigger.
Yes.
like that,
Wow.
the A tier of like fame is like McDonald's, Burger King. I hate Burger King, but they are a big thing. McDonald's,
yeah,
Burger
yeah.
King, Wendy's, Taco Bell. Those are the big ones.
Yeah.
I think that B tier. I
These
was
are
aiming
B
more
tiers.
C and D tier,
No,
but this
they're
is a
B.
solid B tier. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn. Well, we got none
Yeah,
of those.
it's
Well,
tough.
except for one. Dan got one. Congratulations.
I got one. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, go to bgbs.com/join. Join the Hive. You can ask us Hive questions every single week. We're going to come back at the end of the show with more of them. But to start the show, we're going to ask some Giant Bomb /Dan centric questions that were asked of us by the VGBs community. So let's start right now with Jason. Jason asks, This is not. This is actually for all of us. Would you rather get cornered at a party, talking to Tim Sweeney, Randy Pitchford, or Dan's close personal friend Tommy Tallarico?
I have talked to most of these people.
Yeah.
Cornered at a party. Realistically, it is Tommy Tallarico. I would jump at the opportunity to talk to Tommy Tallarico so much faster than I would talk to the other two.
What was the first one again? There was Randy.
It was Tim Sweeney. Tim
Sweeney. Okay.
Which is like to me kind of a whatever. Like,
yeah,
what are you going to talk to him about? Trees, about Cary, North Carolina? Like, what are you going to talk?
Yeah, I've been there. Cary is fine.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah. I'm not going to pick Randy because I think I got my fill when he brought Duke Nukem Forever a couple months before it came out to Minneapolis,
right?
And wanted a Game Informer cover for it, and so he had me sit in a hotel meeting room and sat behind me watching me play the entire game in one day. So I think I got my fill of Randy Pitchford as he hovered over my chair for 8 hours waiting to see which jokes I would laugh at for Duke Nukem Forever.
Oh, dude.
So
which was, I'm sure, a lot of them.
What's it like being God's strongest soldier, Dan? That's fucking incredible.
Look, I paid my dues, John.
That's incredible.
I've been in Randy's car. It was very impressive. I've gone to a wing place in Plano, Texas. He taught me to ride his Segway. I've had some Randy time. So I'm.
So Dan, you've been to my hometown, Plano, Texas.
I have been to Plano exciting. At the old Gearbox headquarters. Yeah, I think they moved since then. It was for Borderlands 2 I was there for. So, so I guess I'll go with Tommy Tallarico.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I think that would just be the funniest one. He seems like a guy that would you just wind him up and watch him go and see what comes out, you know?
Yeah, you're not. I also think I'm voting for Tommy. You're not saying a lot in that conversation.
No.
Ooh, but you know what I would get to do? I would get to do the super weird thing that I've had several people do to me over the years, where it's like we'll do like a meet and greet thing after a PAX or something, and not so much anymore. This is more like the height of Twitter days, and people would come to me like, "Hey Dan, nice to meet you. You blocked me on Twitter. Can you unblock me?" Like, oh, that's not a good way to start a conversation. So, but I would get to do that with Tommy Tallarico.
That would be awesome.
Yes,
really
definitely going with Tommy here.
It's got to be Tommy.
It's got to be Tommy. It's got to be Tommy. All right, I agree. All right, this is also kind of for all of us as well. But Chihuahua Pugs asks, are there any bits you've been a part of that you regret because fans keep bringing it up long past a reasonable expiration date? Like, do people constantly ask Dan where Jeremiah is?
Yeah.
Related question, when is Jeremiah coming on TV? Thank you, Chihuahua Pugs. Yeah.
Nothing I can actually be like upset about because I've only leaned into things, but it's like, you know, anytime Waluigi or Taco Bell are mentioned in any context at all, I will get these same messages to me in text from a million different people. But I can't be upset because it's like, well, I made this bed. You know, I realize I've talked up Waluigi. I brought Waluigi signs to WrestleMania. Yeah. I got married at Taco Bell. You know, it's like, look, I built this thing. I have to live with it now. So I can't be mad.
Yeah, I sang the Evangelion theme song to a Minions voice, and so I become very associated with Minions. I got actually really unpleasant. I got really mad at people for about a year about it, and then came back around to be like, I really did this to myself, so I should really not be mad.
I didn't really understand why you got so heated because you were the one. You were given so many off ramps to not have to do it, and it had gone away before you suggested it as a charity goal.
Yes, right.
Like you hadn't done it in quite a while.
I hadn't done it, and then I was like, well, what would people like? And then it was like, well, what would you like, John? Let's be honest.
No, for sure.
You know, like,
and then you came to that conclusion.
Right. So I was mad about that at some point, but now I'm back around on it. So, yeah. I mean, listen, having quote unquote fans, what a abysmal thing to talk about, but it is true. In terms of like, it's such a lucky thing to have in a lot of ways. So I'll try not to look that gift horse in the mouth.
Sure. You can look at any horse any way you want. You know?
Well, put that on the back of Niki's box, I think. You know? You can look at any horse any way you want. Just any single way you want.
I don't think I have. I don't think I have a bit that I regret.
Okay.
I think the Game Pass bit was good, just poorly timed.
It was really poorly timed, yeah. So Dan,
really
if you don't know, Nikki did unironically for about 4 straight weeks talk about how Game Pass was the best deal in gaming, and then it just kept coming up.
Yeah.
And then, some circumstances got in the way of like saying that was probably,
The BDS stuff, I was like, I probably can't
probably
do
can't.
that one anymore.
Oh, sure.
I don't.
It
But
killed that.
it was really funny.
But it was
Yeah.
really funny.
But I don't regret not being able to do it anymore.
No.
Or regret having done it either.
Right, of course.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, all
You know who has
no
it worse
bits.
than games podcaster? I think wrestlers, because like you do one
Probably.
thing where it's like, how many fucking people, like Scott Steiner, he goes to WrestleCon, how many
math.
fucking people are asking him to do math? And like,
Yeah.
incredible moment. Helped his career a ton, I'm sure. It's
Amazing.
one of the most viral things ever. But like,
Yes.
you got to imagine he's so tired of hearing
tired
people
of
bring
it.
up
Tired.
math. Yeah.
He's tired. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the math. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And now Braun Breaker's doing it, so it's like, oh god,
It's like, well, got to do it.
gotta do it. Gotta pay your dues. All right. Bone Chug Actual asks, Dan, are there people that you could not previously bring onto Giant Bomb under prior ownership you wish you could have on the show?
I mean, there wasn't like a blacklist or anything
Yeah,
like that.
I was gonna assume that was the case. Yeah, there was no blacklist.
No, we brought plenty of people on. It's
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, we got to like there was a freelance budget, so we were able
Totally.
to work with Nikki, with Sean, with Minotti. Like we had a budget we were able to work with, and that was very nice. So if anything, it was maybe easier to do back then versus the current situation where we don't know how much money we make yet. So yeah, we don't know what our budgets for anything are. So TBD on that.
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. Ian asks, Giant Bomb currently has a website, but most people making any sort of video content are providing ad surface to platforms like Twitch, YouTube, and social media. What kind of support structures would you like to see built in this new environment?
I mean,
That
the most important thing to us right now is definitely just the subscribers. And that's been an interesting thing with Giant Bomb's history, where it was something that kind of near the beginning was the premium subscribers was like the backbone of how we made money. And, like all of my early series were gated behind that, all the old like Mario parties and Metal Gears and stuff like that. And then things just shifted to where it's like, okay, everything's free. That's the way the internet is. And now we're independent. And now all of a sudden subscribers really matter again. So like that is the main thing that like, look, there are other avenues. Yeah, sure. There's YouTube ad revenue, there's sponsorships, there's things like that. Like, look, we'd be idiots to not, entertain every possible, we've started a Ko-Fi coffee.
Yeah, is it Ko-Fi or
Is it
Ko-Fi?
Ko-Fi?
It drives me nuts
No
because
one's
I'm
quite
pushing it.
sure.
I'm pushing it all the time, and I don't know. So I have to ko-fi.com/giantbomb. So like that's the thing. We need to be scrappy, and we need to accept everything that that we can feel good about. We're not going to be doing Raid Shadow Legends, the things like that or anything or weird crypto shit. Like we're going to vet things for sure, but the primary thing is the subscribers. So that is giantbomb.com/join. That is the main thing.
makes sense. All right, cool. Thanks. Hey, Hive, thanks for asking these questions. We'll be back at the end of the show. Ask a few more questions that are way stupider. I can't wait to ask them. But in the meantime, Dan, let's talk about Joe is Hungry. Can we talk about
Yes,
that?
I have questions for both of you because
Yeah,
I feel
yeah, I
like you
can't
are
wait.
both scholars with Joe is Hungry, and I'm a newcomer here. Now I need this explained very clearly to me because as I have gotten into Joe is Hungry, and I'm like doing research now with him. Like I wanted to get the Parmesan stuffed crust from Domino's this weekend. I was like, let's see what Joe thinks. And we watched, and I said, anything over like a 7, I'll get it. Because he's a tough scorer. And he gave it like a 7.4 or something, and I got it. And it was delicious. It was great. But in my liking his content and stuff, and talking about it on podcasts and stuff, one of my first things I think of is like I'm very good at reaching out to people and just being like, hey, you should come be on a thing or whatever. Come work with us. I'm going to get to know you, and you're going to do things on Giant Bomb or whatever. And I'm very confident that I would be able to get him on like the voicemail dump truck. And which is, for those that don't know, it's an off-topic, non-gaming thing. So something like Joe could just come on and we could answer fast food questions. I brought it up on a couple podcasts and stuff. And I've just seen enough people in the chat just be like, don't do that. Don't do that. And so I'm like, God, you got to do that. The very first level of vetting of just like, Joe is hungry controversy. And like nothing very clearly popped up. And it's like, man, I've seen like dozen or so of his videos. And it seems like a well-meaning guy that's just having some fun with editing and is like surprisingly good at editing, like
surprisingly good at editing.
It's honestly very good editing. That motherfucker has so many GoPros in that car that are completely unnecessary.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, everyone's just like, don't do that. And it's just, I've just gotten the vaguest sense that like, oh, he's like a Republican or something. Is that the extent of it?
If we go by the VGB's like kind of Twitch chat, everyone is fairly convinced that he's just kind of a dyed-in-the-wool Trump guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is believable.
I don't actually get that sense. I don't think this man has voted in the past 40 years.
That's what I think it is.
I don't think it's different. It's a different thing. It's not. My actual assessment is that he's just kind of a weird libertarian live or let live guy that like when pressed does not have really that coherent opinions on most things.
Yeah, the thing is he has so much paraphernalia in his shot where it's like it's mostly pizza boxes and shit, but he's got like
but there's some anime shit.
Yeah, there's anime like, stuff like he's not a guy that's ashamed to put his stuff all over the place. And I think with anyone that has like hard political leanings, if you're putting a bunch of shit all over your walls, there's going to be some clues somewhere there, Yeah. And there's no hint of that whatsoever. So like I don't know where it's coming from.
The only thing I would say is that his relationship to the workers at fast food restaurants, I think, has deteriorated over the past 5 years.
Okay, I know they ask him a lot to like go into the penalty box or whatever.
Yeah, and he's kind of made it a thing where now he forces him. He's got to get his shit in. Like that's
I get
like,
that.
It's like it's full on Bret Hart sternum first running into the
he's a worker. Joe's a worker. Okay,
he gets there and he goes, "Oh, I gotta wait." That penalty box over there. It's like you know he's gonna go home and think about that later.
That's the first of his 5 moves of doom.
Correct.
Yeah. So I would say like his relationship with them has, I think, gotten more robotic and also more impatient. Now, some of it is understandable because he's been faced with like AI stuff at the drive-through, which is insane. It is insane to deal with. So, but he used to like give shout-outs to people at those restaurants. Now he kind of like has maybe a slightly contentious relationship with them.
None of this is sounding like disqualifying.
No,
I don't think it's disqualifying.
Where I land on this man though is that he is always. I'm a little bit on edge whenever I hear him talk.
I know.
Because he almost never does say anything out of pocket.
No.
But it feels like he's real close to every time he opens his mouth.
He said the R slur on a stream.
Yes,
okay.
He has done that.
And he
doesn't wear a seatbelt.
And he apologized.
He double parked.
He apologized. He did apologize for the R slur. And he said, sorry, I didn't mean it that way, blah, 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 whatever. So he did apologize, hasn't used it again as far as I've heard. He does double park. He doesn't wear a seatbelt all the time. He used to talk about his wife a lot. Now he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. He does not. So he could just be, that could be regular.
That
could be
regular.
normal. Wife could have said, normal. Please don't talk to me about me on the internet.
Don't talk about me.
Yeah. Which is normal. So I think he's fine. I think again, it just feels, maybe don't do it live. Is probably like literally just not doing it live.
Rare pre-recorded dump trucks.
Yeah, him and Samoa Joe are the only two we've done live to tape.
To be fair, we were not afraid of Samoa Joe. Was the coolest. It's normal to be afraid of Samoa Joe if you're not in his good graces.
To be so clear. But in the history of the program, recording them live to tape, I think that would be a great 1 and 2.
But the thing is, too, like the people that would be mad about him being on for whatever reason would still be mad if it was pre-recorded, even if he didn't say anything.
No, for sure. But
can I just blame both of you if this blows up
100%.
and we lose subscribers?
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Good. That's good.
Just blame us. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool.
I can't wait.
No, but I can't wait. I mean, the arms race is on. I think you've got all the resources to get him on first. I have reached out. I have reached out. I did drive by Cartersville, Georgia recently. He did not get back to me to have some sort of appearance, which is fine. That's fine, Joe. That's fine.
It's okay.
But I
He
am
just has a
excited.
Gmail address. Yeah.
He does. I know.
Yeah.
It's just
It's
out there. He ran
it's
a
out
giveaway where he was like, everybody email me your address.
That was he did. He did. That was like 2 weeks ago. He's like, all right, guys, email me your address at this Gmail.
See,
Just do it.
He has that endearing, like, kind of old man, like, lack of
Yes.
technology, but then it doesn't really jibe with the fact that, like, he's got sharp fucking editing.
No,
Like,
yeah,
he knows
he-
video
he-
production
yes.
very well, you know?
Yes, really well.
He is deep in the bones of the Epidemic Sound library. Like
Yeah.
he is.
Oh, sure.
He is deep into video editing, all that stuff. So, clearly is tech savvy. I don't know if you know this lore. His wife is gamer, plays Overwatch. We know that.
No shit.
Yeah. So I'm giving you some extra detail here. He shoots his stuff from a shop where he used to repair lawn mowing equipment.
Sure.
And cars, but I don't get the sense that he uses that anymore for that. I think he's like
I think it's
kind of doing
studio
full-time
only.
YouTubing. And he's a nurse.
He's a nurse
In
by
the
trade?
day,
Nurse.
in the regular,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Question here.
Yes.
So when me and Bianca started watching his stuff, she was like, oh, I
Yes.
wonder if he's ever given a 10 or like what's the highest score he's ever given out.
Massey's Pizza.
Yes.
Crazy.
And so that's what she found. And then she was like looking it up and she believes that like there was something, I don't know if it was explicitly stated or just implied that he owns it. And then she was like, wait, is this some like, is he just like, I don't know where she saw that, but I got the idea that like he owns Massey's and was like, ooh, I don't know if I can trust this guy if he's given his own stuff, you know, but like, and he does have a ton of Massey's Pizza stuff, but that's like Ohio or something, right?
That's
Yeah, that's
Ohio.
Ohio and Pawleys Island, South Carolina. I'm looking at the website.
About Us.
It could be a misreading of something. And I do want to report to her because I don't want that sitting in the back of her mind as we enjoy his content if it's
Massey's
not true.
Pizza started its long-term love affair with Central Ohio pizza consumers in 1949 when Jim and Dan
He's not that
Masucci
old.
and Romeo Siri introduced pizza to Columbus at their Italian restaurant in Grandview.
Did he ever live in Ohio? Do we know that?
I don't think
No.
so. I think he's a dyed-in-the-wool Georgia guy, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's been there down there. So I don't think it's him. I think he just likes it a lot.
Maybe he had like a franchise or something.
Maybe.
She would not have like pulled that out of
Maybe.
thin air. So I'm just wondering if there is any weirdness there.
Here's some of the really good perks of owning a Massey's establishment.
Yes, please.
Overall positive growth for 15 consecutive years.
Oh yeah.
And then something that it's the second one I really don't understand. It says 4-to-1 food to alcohol ratio, and then there's an asterisk.
What?
And I've
What's the
scrolled
asterisk?
down, doesn't say.
Unclear.
I don't know what 4-to-1 food to alcohol.
What is that?
I think that means
ratio
maybe
is.
one fourth of the people who come in and get pizza also get
Also
alcohol.
get
So maybe that's
alcohol?
like, you know, when I worked at Best Buy, they're like, you sell a digital camera, but then you also want to get at least a memory card or a case or something for it.
Got
So maybe
it.
it's seen as a bonus, like, oh,
It's
they
a
got alcohol
bonus.
with their
Okay.
pizza. Yeah.
So
Right,
so
okay.
that maybe that's good then.
Yes.
Family friendly atmosphere, large group seating accommodations, expert advice through every step of the building and opening process. 25 grand to get the rights to it.
Okay.
50 grand is how much they suggest that you have
Have
liquid.
to open it. Okay.
Okay.
And then at a minimum, it will cost you $100,000 to invest, up to $2 million on average.
Up
and
to
they
two?
want, yeah,
Whoa,
and
whoa,
they
whoa,
want,
wait, whoa. The gap is
That's what it
100,000
says.
to 2 million?
This is minimum
Oh my
investment,
God.
$100,000 to $2 million, and then all they want is 4% off the top until you close.
I just watched The Founder, and I think this goes poorly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this does go poorly. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wait, but I don't know if you've seen The Founder. Are they the Michael Keaton then? Are they the Ray Kroc, or would we be the Ray Kroc if we're going into business with this?
We
They-
If we're franchising
no,
it,
for sure.
are they the two guys? Are they Nick Offerman in California?
All I've ever seen of this flick has been as YouTube shorts.
YouTube Shorts?
Okay. I watched it on a plane to Japan a month ago, so I'm thinking about it. Yeah.
I don't know in this scenario if Nick Offerman's character exists. I think it's Croc, and then everyone else is not one of those people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like
I don't think we should do this. I don't think we should start.
Yeah, I guess
a
we're not
franchise.
going to open a
we're not going to
Massey's.
start a Massey's. Yeah.
No, my first job was at a
pieces-
McDonald's, and the district
it?
guy and the manager were just the most miserable fucks I've ever met, and
Yeah.
it did not seem happy. That's anecdotal, but
8, 9, 10.
I don't think I want to do it.
What was the best?
13
What was the
locations.
What was the best part of the McDonald's job?
Oh, so it was 1998. I'm 14 working there, and we just got free food. I don't know if that's still the case, but we had a break room with a TV and a CRT, and I would time my like Saturdays for like they had some like WWF Live Wire or something. It was just one of those shitty weekend shows, and I would time it, and I would just grab like 2 quarter pounders, 20 nuggets, 2 McFlurries, big ass Coke, like just like 2 apple pies, and my
Wow.
14-year-old fat ass just sitting back there, just going to town, watching Val Venus
That's
for
the
Steve Blackman or
dream.
something. Like, oh
Yeah.
man, it was great.
That's
Like,
living.
dude, my run is incredible in terms of just starting. Like they say, like, oh, don't ruin the things you love with your jobs. My first job was McDonald's. I quit McDonald's to work at 2 places at the same time: a Funkoland, which turned into GameStop, before it sucked ass and I could just play video games at work because it wasn't a busy location, and AMC theaters. So all through junior high and high school, I was getting free McDonald's, and then that shifted to free movies and free. I could rent any game from the video game place and I could buy at a discount. I went from that to like reviewing video games and then WWE, and so it's like
And now you're here.
I don't subscribe to that. Like, don't make your passions your job thing because it's been pretty fun.
No, it's pretty
Yeah.
good.
No, that's good.
It works. It works sometimes. That's
it
what
does
Living
work
in America by James Brown is about.
Yeah, and superhighways and hard rolls. That's always a lyric of that song that I think is weird. When you start talking about
what does
hard
he mean?
rolls
What does he mean?
What does
by
that mean?
and a hard roll.
I'm on Genius now.
Yeah. He names a lot of cities. Now, those are some of my favorite James Brown songs is when he just starts screaming cities. There's one like
Toledo!
yeah, there's one that's like people get up and drive your funky soul. It's like 7 minutes of him screaming cities. And I love that song. It was my alarm clock throughout like years of college. Just
Count
James
the
Brown
Bluff.
screaming San Francisco.
He was really just maybe he just knew that he would hit these cities.
Yeah.
Oh,
And they'd pop for
right.
that part.
And
yeah.
they would pop. It was he
Yeah.
was working the pops into his music.
As an ultimate showman right there.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yes.
Did y'all see the video of the Pope, the new Pope from Chicago, saying Dallas, Texas in an Italian accent for some reason?
Is it a recent video?
No, yeah, it was like yesterday. He was like giving an address, and he was like, Panama, Dallas, Texas. And I'm like, you're from Chicago. Like, you know, like, what are you doing? What are you doing with this Buca de Beppo accent to say Dallas, Texas?
Living the gimmick. Living the gimmick.
God, he gave this little sly smile after he did Dallas, Texas.
Okay,
like, all right,
I'm
man.
listening
All
to
right,
him say
Leo.
it. He's gonna say it.
He's going to say it. Dallas, Texas. Dallas, Texas.
Dallas, Texas. What is he doing?
I don't know what he's doing, but it's really good.
That's
I was
funny.
like, all right. When people say Dallas, Texas, Italian accent, I listen. All right. Speaking of Japan, you just were there, Dan.
Yeah.
You got to play Death Stranding. Presumably
Only 30 hours of it.
So just a small slice, a little
a vertical
Presumably-
slice.
Game.
Yeah.
Presumably with Hideo Kojima looking over your shoulder like Randy Pitchford did that entire time.
No, he was a full rock star about it. Where it's like if he was going to come into the room, you were all
Yeah.
getting the heads up
Yeah.
from PR. They're
Yeah.
like, hey, he's about to come
He's
in.
coming.
And he
He's
comes
coming.
out with like his like entourage. He's got like people with him, and he comes out, and people are like clapping and stuff. And he says like 4 things, and then leaves. And then like every once in a while, the mood would kind of change as we're playing because it was like 4 straight days of like 8-9 hour days of whatever playing the game, and every once in a while you just kind of see him like walking behind all things and like just looking at where everyone's at, and so like and everyone's going, oh shit, it's Kojima, and we all the fucking cattle call picture with the astronaut guy in that room, we all got it, and I'm not too good for that, I'll fucking do it, hell yeah, I'm gonna do that, but it's just so funny because he's just standing there and it's like, all right, number 1. And it's like, all right, Jeff Keighley, come up, do your thing. Okay, number 2, okay, blessing from Kind of Funny. Okay,
Awesome.
number 3, okay, I'll go up, take my picture. Like, no conversation, just like he's just rolling through. It's like it's a WrestleCon thing. It's take your picture with Cena, move on.
Unbelievable.
Funny.
What like for folks that might have bounced off or really really love Death Stranding, like what do you feel like those 2 groups of people are going to get out of Death Stranding 2?
I mean, as someone who was in both groups, the one who initially bounced off it and then came around on it, I think this one's just going to be a lot more accessible from the start. Okay. Everyone's just kind of accepted what the game is now, because like there was those expectations before of like, what is this? It's the follow up to Metal Gear. It's the like, is this going to be an action game? Are you just delivering stuff? And like now everyone just kind of knows it's a weird ass world where you deliver shit, and so like you're ready to accept that when you started, and you are playing the game very quickly. There's less micromanaging stuff. I didn't feel like I was constantly falling over, dealing with the baby and stuff like that. So it's just more fun right out of the gate. The storyline stuff, like all the character interactions, I think is much, much better. I compared it in my preview to the first 3 seasons of Arrested Development. You got this ensemble cast and they're all talking together and everything. And then there's that weird 4th season where it's just
no one's in the same room.
Exactly. The first Death Stranding kind of felt like that 4th season of Arrested Development where it's like, I'm talking to Fragile in my room. I'm talking to Heartman in his lab. And like now it's like you're flying around in this like Metal Gear head that can ride the tar currents. And you got the director of Mad Max, and you got a doll, and you got like Elle Fanning, and there's like everyone's just kind of there chatting and stuff, and they're all weird and cool. And it's just like, it feels more like, oh, this is like my crew on the Magellan, the DHV Magellan. And so I found myself enjoying the cutscenes a lot more. There's still a million things where it's like you drop off some ceramics and you holograms like, hey Sam, yep, looks pretty good. All right, I'll put this in this like that. Like skip through that. That's fine. But like the actual cutscenes between chapters and stuff, and like the boss fights are way, way better. I just think it's going to be. You're going to be a little lost if you haven't played the first one or if you dropped off quickly. But I played the whole first game, and I gun to my head, could not fucking tell you like what happened at the end. Why am I blue? What is fucking? Did I die? Why is my president's sister mom flirting with me? Like
Lindsay Wagner is my mom and my sister, and also the same person. Like what's
and the
happening?
president. And I didn't understand any of that shit, and I still went into this like just go in, be like, it's going to be a weird version of the real world where you're delivering shit. And like the beach is kind of the afterlife, and like some things can kind of like go in and out of the afterlife. It's just, don't worry too hard about understanding everything. I watched a 20-minute YouTube explainer before I started playing too, and I was like, oh, right, okay, that's what Chiralium is. That's what the Chiral Network is. Like, don't worry about it. It's a fun game. Like just the moment-to-moment playing, and the action's way, way better this time. It's very, very good.
Okay.
I'm shocked that this video game is called Death Stranding 2: On the Beach.
On the beach.
Why does that shock you?
It is so tonally a like Mary Kate and Ashley : on the beach. Like it feels like it betrays. I understand. I
Death
get
Stranding
it.
2, high noon at Mega Mountain.
Oh, I see that on the beach. I get that because that. Okay, I see tonally.
On the beach. It's like the Magic Tree House : on Magic Tree House 38 on the beach.
Yeah, if it was like Death Stranding 2 Aloha Vacation or something,
Yes,
it would just be.
It is
what?
adjacent. It is close to that to me. Because when you said on the beach, and I said, wait, no, that's what the game is called. It's just Death Stranding 2.
Yeah.
No subtitle.
Here's why I think they're really smart. Because Nikki, if it had been at the beach,
that's a different game.
That's
a
so
different game.
different.
That is
but
the
on the beach is like there's something menacing about that.
And I think that's it, because at the beach is a Dead or Alive.
Yeah,
sure, beach volleyball
Version of the game, beach volleyball.
Yep.
And then on the beach, what's on it?
What's
Stranded
on
the
there?
beach.
Yeah.
2?
Yeah, on it again.
Yeah.
2?
Caroline Polachek is there.
Is she in
Singing
it?
at me? Well, she's singing the song. She's the theme song. Oh. Yeah. I don't know if she's in it.
I
but-
confuse those.
We were told not to talk about cameos of people in the game.
Oh,
which
okay, got it.
basically I played the entire thing just waiting to see if Nicolas Cage showed up. That's basically like, is this going to be Cage? Is this going to be Cage? That was the question. They gave us a tour and they showed us the like scan
really
booth.
funny.
And I was like, is that where did Nicolas Cage and Conan O'Brien go in there? And they're like, yes.
Yes.
Great. Thanks.
God, that's really funny. Well, yeah, my close personal friend and person that shares my exact birth date with me, Leia Seydoux, is we're both turning 40 the same day.
Oh wow.
It's still amazing that she and a handful of others have just kind of latched on to Hideo Kojima like this.
It's a good boat to get on, I think, if you can.
I think it's a good boat to get on. Yeah,
it's a good boat to get on.
Right.
He hasn't done wrong, but I can't think of someone whose like career was harmed by being like, it's not like, I mean, Kiefer's still getting work, right?
Yeah.
Designated Survivor's still on TV, right?
Yeah, right.
I think so.
Yeah.
There's
what-
Probably.
There's no. Okay. When
The
do you think designated?
the third sequel to 24. That's still going, right?
Oh man, I'd kill for another 24. I love 24 so fucking much.
When
was so
do
good.
you both think Designated Survivor
Ooh.
left television? It started. I will give you the start date.
Okay.
September 21st, 2016.
Whoa.
When did it leave television?
2022.
May 2020.
June 7th, 2019.
Okay.
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 It did not make it to the pandemic.
To the pandemic.
Is he
okay.
a cop or what is
No.
he?
He works in. He worked. Nope. Dan, what do
Yeah.
you think Designated Survivor is about?
Thank you. Dan, what do
He
you think it's about?
Survived the Sully crash and now
Oh.
has premonitions.
Okay.
That they have to pick a guy on the
There's one
airplane
guy.
to live.
One guy. One guy. One fucking guy.
And now he doesn't know why, but ever since then he has premonitions, and he has to help others survive bad situations.
That's a great show.
It's a really
It's
good-
basically 24,
Oh,
except he's okay. So the Designated Survivor is whenever there's like all of the government gets together, they leave like 3 guys out of it.
does this
So-
happen?
This
Yes.
is a real thing.
This is a
Yeah.
real
So it's like
thing.
Marco
So, like, if
Rubio, like not hanging out with everyone at the party,
so
or
he's
Well,
Gucci because he's high up enough, right? But like
Oh.
at the State of the Union, everybody's there except
Sure.
like the energy
Or like
secretary.
3 guys. Yep.
oh, like Linda McMahon. Well, she was there, but yeah,
Oh.
okay.
No, for
Yeah.
sure. But like that is
Yeah,
the
yeah.
tier, right? Like
Sure.
you're like 17th
Sure.
in line for the presidency.
Yeah.
Is how far down. You're not there. You're watching it on
Yep.
TV.
Okay.
In the show, they blow up the State of the Union. Everybody
Whoa.
dies. So like the president through like 16 is killed in this explosion. The 17th guy on the list, the Designated Survivor, becomes president. And that
it's
guy is
Kiefer
Kiefer
Sutherland.
Sutherland.
Yep.
Oh,
So he then has to save America.
Yep.
But is he like an ass kicking president like Harrison Ford, or is he just like? Is it like if Jack Bauer was president?
No,
No.
It's not as
No.
actiony as that. It is.
Does he
more-
kill anyone?
Almost definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he does. Yeah.
Okay.
Does the president kill someone? Well, every president's killed someone, really.
I mean, because he was
But-
always killing people in 24.
he was killing a
Yes,
lot of
he's-
people.
He
Like-
kills way fewer people in this.
Okay.
I can guarantee it.
Okay.
Okay.
Than he did in the program. Yeah, he's the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development.
Oh,
in
that's
the show.
less dangerous than working at CTU. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
God,
You
I
ever see
hadn't
that video
thought
when he got drunk and tackled a Christmas tree in Los Angeles?
about Kiefer Sutherland? No,
Yep.
I haven't. I don't.
I remember
think
this
so.
was during like the height of 24 when I was in college. And I was like, man, Kiefer seems like the coolest fucking guy. And when I thought he couldn't be any cooler, a news story came out that he got drunk. He's in a lobby of a hotel. Someone's filming him. And he's like, he says something like, hey, you want to see something cool? And then he just sprints at a fucking Christmas tree in a hotel lobby. Nikki, are you seeing it?
Yeah, I'm watching it. Fuck, that's funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Jesus. That
So I
rules.
already liked him a lot. And then I saw that and I was like, this is the coolest dude in the world.
God,
He
that's
did it
funny.
on Christmas Eve.
He
Seeing
did.
it now, yes, it's just how I
really,
remember.
really funny.
That's incredible.
Holy shit.
I wonder what hotel it is.
Yeah, what hotel is this?
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. God,
Incredible.
that's fucking funny.
Yeah, it's good. I'm glad that it
someone-
survived on the internet.
Someone
People
called it,
also
Mr.
ask-
President, get down. Stupid. Oh man. God bless you, Kiefer. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. All right, I'm playing a trip to Japan in the next year, 18 months. Dan, what do you recommend I do?
If you see professional wrestling in Japan, that's fun.
Yeah.
I happen to be there at the exact same time. The Deadlock boys, from my favorite podcast, Deadlock,
Yeah,
were running
sure.
a couple shows in Japan, and it was on like, me and Blessing from Kind of Funny and Marcus Stewart from Game Informer were going, and we're in the Uber, and we're like looking for the arena, and we're like, where the hell is it? It's like in the middle of Shinjuku, and it's just like, it's very busy, and we don't see an arena. And then we see it's like so many things in Japan where it's like 1 floor, 2 floor, 3 floor, it's like a different business on each floor. It's the 7th floor was the name of the arena. It's like, oh man, it's the wrestling arena was above an arcade in Japan. It's like, this is fucking cool. So we're walking past all these like Namco arcade machines and stuff to go up to watch a wrestling thing. And it was so fucking cool. It was, so if you happen to see any kind of wrestling in Japan, I doubt you could go wrong there, but schedule permitting.
Was it at the Shinjuku Face?
Yeah, it was.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I Googled it.
Yep, that was the one.
That's exciting. I definitely want to do that. I want to see that. I want to see a baseball game. I want to do both of those things.
Is your first time in Japan?
Yeah, I've never been.
Sure, people have told you Akihabara. That's like the big, like kind of like electronics, like game stuff, arcades, tons of fun stuff there. So
yeah.
I've never really done the like outside Tokyo. I went to Kyoto for the Nintendo Museum, but I've never really like gone like temples and outside of the big cities or anything. I've just never really had time to do that. So like if you have more time, I mean, people say that's incredible.
I want to do like 2 weeks. Take the train up. And see some stuff. Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah,
John, are you gonna get one of those wheelchairs that takes you up the stairs, except it takes you 6 hours?
I don't know what I'm gonna, Nikki. I don't know what I'm gonna do because every single place on that island hates me. I think so. We'll see.
Are they not great with the laws about that?
They're not great with like it's like oh, the streets are really good, but good luck getting into any restaurant or building or whatever. It's like yeah, but what I'll do is I'll just cry in front of all these businesses.
Just cry, and they'll feel bad and pick you up.
They'll pick me up, and it'll be fine.
Befriend the wrestlers first, and then they will carry you around.
That's really
smart. Maybe I'll befriend Kenta Kobashi, and he could just like walk around with me and pick me up, and like the Iron Giant, and just take me everywhere.
Do the Ribera Steakhouse.
I could do that. That's true.
Do it. I've been there a couple times. It's pretty good. Yep.
Look at that fucking move. Just had to do it. God, I want one of those so fucking bad.
Yep, me and Marcus Stewart got them.
I have to get one. Those
it's good steak too. It's really good steak.
I hear it's great. I hear it's a good place. Hey folks, Star Citizen. I know the three of us are huge fans. We've spent thousands of dollars each of us.
I can't stop talking about it.
I can't stop talking about Star Citizen. Listen, I read a piece about Star Citizen this week, and I learned some things.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you two 4 questions.
Awesome.
About Star Citizen that did surprise me.
Okay.
Without further ado, this is the Star Citizen check. Jordan, can you play the music? Thank you so much for the music, Jordan. I really appreciate it. How much money has Star Citizen raised in its 13-year history?
Holy shit.
Is it A, 500 million? Is it B, 650 million? Is it C, 800 million? No. Or is it D, 1.2 billion dollars?
All of those numbers are so fucking big.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this is a video game you can play.
Hey,
I've worked in video games for 20 years. I don't know if I can play this video game.
Hey, Dan, one of the questions I'm asking is pretty much that. So we'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
I'm going to say that it is, what is C?
It was 800 million.
That's what I was leaning towards.
I'm going to say C, 800
yeah, me
million.
Me too.
You're both correct. It is $800 million
That's
that it is
insane.
raised.
That's too much.
In 13
Where did
years.
It go?
It was... Unclear. This week, the game began to sell what in-game item to much controversy? Is it A, hood ornaments, B, flight blades for ship maneuverability, C, keychains for guns, or D, plushies to put on your bed?
I'm going to say B, flight blades for increased maneuverability.
Okay, Nikki, what's your answer?
I'm going to say it's A.
The hood ornaments?
The hood ornaments.
Okay, Dan is correct. It is flight blades for ship maneuverability. Hey, the flight blades max out at what real-life dollar cost per unit? Is it A, $9? Is it B, $15? Is it C, $27? Or D, $42?
Nikki, you want to go first?
$42.
I'm going to also go with D.
Hey, it's D. It's $42 for ship blades to increase your ship maneuverability. Hey, what state is Star Citizen officially in, according to Chris Roberts and the website? Is it A, alpha, B, beta, C, pre-launch, or D, early access?
Alpha.
I was also going to say alpha.
It is alpha. You two
That's
are correct.
fucking
This game has been in alpha for 13 years. In January 2025, Chris Roberts was quoted as saying, and let me make sure I've got it here. We are closer than ever to realizing a dream many have said is impossible.
Releasing a video game.
They
said it couldn't be done. They said you could put a man on the moon.
Holy shit, Dan. We got to the moon faster.
We got to the moon faster.
In less time
we
than it has taken them
faster.
to make a space video game.
Let me read this PC Gamer headline from Fraser Brown. Thank you so much. Squadron 42. Now, real quick, what is Squadron 42?
Is this multiple choice?
Nope.
Give me the context again, please.
Short answer.
It's Star Citizen. What's Squadron 42?
Squadron 42 is maybe the 42 people who have given them the most money over the course of the 18 years.
Interesting.
And it's like a not like a managerial, but it's like a voting block. And they maybe get to dictate some stuff about the direction of the
Interesting
title.
answer. Dan, what's Squadron 42?
In the space cabinet, in case there's like a ship where they all are having a big council, and like they're like the 42 most important members of the squadron get killed. The 43rd, that's the 42 are the ones that die.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
No, it's a different game they're making. In addition to Star Citizen, which is a single-player shooter, which entered a polishing phase in 2023 and is now targeting a 2026 launch. So needed just 3 short years,
3 years
for the
to clean that
polishing
guy up.
to clean that guy up. Now, who is in Squadron 42?
Oh, I know this.
Name
Mark
two
Hamill.
actors. Name
Mark
two
Hamill.
actors who are in it. Name two
Mark
actors.
Hamill.
Okay.
Again.
Who's the other one?
Freddie Prinze Jr.
That's a great one.
Thank you.
Yeah, Gary Oldman, the other
What?
one in that.
Gary Oldman?
So
And Mark Hamill.
Yeah, so this game's never coming out. I don't know what it is. I went down a rabbit hole and I'm like, I can't believe they've not been like, now Trump is in office, so no one's gonna do it. But like, this has class action lawsuit. Like, they better launch this while Trump is in office. Do you know what I mean?
No,
because
this is the only way.
Because the
money
next
laundering?
guy-
What is this?
I'm gonna
Is it
say something
laundering?
so carefully.
Okay.
Okay.
Allegedly, I know someone in Los Angeles
Okay.
that worked for Chris Roberts' wife.
Okay.
Allegedly, her company got a very mysterious injection of cash about 6 years ago that
Interesting.
no one's quite been able to
Yeah,
understand.
really
what
hard to say
happened.
where it came from.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I need to be so clear about this.
Yeah, allegedly.
That allegedly that is true.
Okay. Well, look, I've got an idea.
Okay, what's that?
We, the three of us,
The three of us, okay. I'm
make a
listening.
video game called Star Citizen 2.
Okay. No, let's do. Have you ever seen the dumb Starbucks, Nathan? For
Yes.
you?
No, yes.
Okay.
And
So what if
all-
we just for satire, like we'll just make it dumb Star Citizen?
Dumb Star
Dumb
Citizen.
Star Citizen.
And
Yeah.
it's gonna take us. I think we can ship this fucker out the door on September 15th, gang. If
This
we
in
lock in
2025?
after, if we lock in
Yeah.
after SGF,
Yeah, we could probably get it out.
really get on the keyboard.
Shadow
September
drop it at
15th.
PAX. Shadow drop it at PAX.
PAX West.
Yeah.
We'll beat Hollow Knight and Star Citizen to the punch.
I mean, that
can't
seems
wait.
easy.
Yeah.
I just searched for Star Citizen on Steam. It's not there. I don't know how.
Nope. No, it's not. It's certainly not.
They've
there.
got
No.
their own launcher, I'm sure.
It's not in early
Invictus launch
access.
week 2955. Well, I mean, this looks like video game stuff. That's Gary Oldman in a video game.
That's Gary
Is that
Oldman?
Gillian Anderson?
Believe. Ooh, it's Gillian Anderson.
X-Files?
That's Squadron 42 I'm looking at here.
Oh, I see.
But yeah, can I download this game and play it? Is that possible?
I think if you give them $80, I do think you can play
I'm not
Star
doing that.
Citizen right now.
You're not a real
Play
fan
now.
then. Or you're
No,
not a
I'm
real
not.
fan.
I'm super not.
You're not a real fan if you're not going to spend $80 right now on Star Citizen.
From May 15th to May 27th, Star Citizen is free to play. Start your new sci-fi MMO adventure today. I just clicked fly for free.
I'm downloading it.
I'm not making an RSI account. What is that?
Nope, I'm
RSI
okay. I'm out.
launcher?
That's
Yeah, I'm getting out of here. I'm not doing this.
I can't
It's
believe
not
you're
on
not.
Steam because Steam has rules.
I can't believe you're not getting a Robert Space Industry account made for you right now.
Robert's Space Industry.
Do I want the True Valor patch bundle or do I want the Duelist Invictus starter pack?
What is the Duelist Invictus starter pack?
Let me click in. It's normally 75. It's down to 63.75. It is
that's
more info.
That's a steal.
63.75.
Yes.
Is
Okay.
the
So it
number
comes
they
with.
landed on?
Yeah, but listen to what you get for that.
Okay.
You get the Star Citizen digital download, which is free right now. You get Avenger Invictus blue and gold paint. You get 40,000 UEC. You get 120 month insurance. You get
What?
Orc.
What?
You get.
What?
Oh, hang on. You get Orc MKX helmet singularity, Orc MKX core singularity, Orc MKX arm singularity, Orc MKX leg singularity, stone skin undersuit, Death's Head helmet, Clash core, Clash arms, Clash legs, and a Markanda undersuit.
Okay, wait.
For $63, you're going to make fun of that?
For $63, you get 10 calendar years of insurance?
It is listed as 120 month insurance. There's no hyphen.
There's no hyphen.
No.
I don't understand it. Wow.
It sounds like it's insurance for your ship based on this description.
So is there an economy in this video game?
My
I could
I think there's
bootstrap
economy
my
in it.
own my own insurance company. Could I do AAA?
I'm sorry. There is an asterisk on the insurance.
Oh, okay.
what
Tell
is
me
it?
This
about it. What's it say?
special event edition comes with an exclusive 10-year insurance contract, asterisk, war bond version pledges cannot be obtained with store credit.
Not the
Yeah.
war bond.
war
But you're getting
bonds,
15%
okay.
off, so, you know.
Okay, well,
Star
Jesus
Citizen
Christ.
Insurance explained. There's literally
Is
you
there a
type
Reddit
in,
account?
you
Is there a
type
subreddit?
in, you type in Star Citizen Insurance, and then there's literally a thing like it's fucking Geico or AAA. What says Star Citizen Insurance claim cannot be processed? Can you imagine submitting a claim for a fucking digital spaceship? Your spaceship
and
has
it's the
exploded.
people, like, so crucially, insurance usually relies on a third party to look at the situation and go, oh yeah, this other party fucked up. You're basically going to the guy who sold you the shitty stuff and going, hey, my shitty stuff fucked up. And Nikki's camera blew up because they were laughing too hard. It's like it's the same person. It's going one ear and out the other. That's crazy.
Folks, there is a convention.
Okay.
It's CitizenCon 2954. They do a convention for this. I need
when
to go
is
there
it?
with the camera.
We need to go. We need
Where
to
is
do.
It's in Manchester, United Kingdom.
Wow.
Ooh, let's go to Northern England, folks. Let's let's go
need-
to the north.
To go talk to people on the
Will
floor.
my insurance carry over to ships I have upgraded? When you upgrade your ship, only the relevant ship within the pledge will be changed.
Oh,
This is lifetime. What is lifetime insurance?
Um,
I'm
don't
encountering
know.
the last thing on here is I'm encountering an error when attempting to file a claim. You fucked up. You simply have fucked up. If you have a help article on your website that says, and again I quote, I'm encountering an error when attempting to file a claim.
Oh my
you
God.
have fucked up.
you
there
fucked
is
up
a
really bad.
Galactopedia. So it has its own wiki. There's a roadmap for this fucking game. What's that
what's
look
coming?
like?
What's coming in 3
Oh,
what's
Let
coming
me
in 3
see.
months?
There's a progress tracker.
The roadmap has changed a lot.
Oh, look at
Last
the
few
roadmap. Whoa, this is a lot. Okay. I don't know how to read any of this. There is a lot on this. Well, the Z Archive Napu gameplay feature team is nowhere on the horizon for 2025.
Fuck.
Nowhere
That's why that's why I wanted to get in.
Yeah, me too.
They are working on the SQ42 core gameplay pillar. There's 45 deliverables coming this year.
Oh, so
that's
the
something.
video game part?
The video game
That's
part of
something.
the video game that they're making.
Yeah.
The two games. It like the audacity for them to do a Kickstarter that's like, oh, it's like a No Man's Sky, and then for halfway through to go, let's make a first person shooter and finish that first.
No,
It's
I'd be
so
pissed.
funny. It's
I would
so
also
funny.
be pissed if I
would be pissed
gave
too.
them any amount of money.
It would be really crazy. I
All
just
you
check
do is
in.
fly around. Like
I
what is
check
the-
in on this every 18 months, and I'm always shocked that is not the biggest class action lawsuit in the world.
One of the
shocked.
worst flights I've ever been on, and I've had many panic attacks on flights, and they were not as bad as
Yeah.
this one. I was on a 5-hour cross country flight, and the guy next to me was we would just kind of do a little, hey, how's it going? Whatever. You from here? What are you doing? And he said, oh, what do you do? And I said, oh, I work in video games. And he was like, oh, I love video games. Like, okay, well, I guess we'll talk some
right,
video
what
games
do
here.
you want? Yeah.
And it turns out the only video game he had any interest in or knowledge of was Star Citizen. So
Fucking
did not
unbelievable.
play anything else. I don't know how you go from not having interest in video games to having a deep interest in the most inaccessible video game of all time.
Of all time.
But that's all he wanted to talk about. I'm like doing the nice, oh yeah, putting in my AirPods, loading up my iPad with a movie or something, and he's just like talking about Star Citizen for the entire flight.
Do they still
fucking
make Elite
unbelievable.
Dangerous?
Yeah, what was the deal with that? Was that a different space thing?
That was
Oh,
a
yeah,
different
it's a
space
separate thing.
game from the people who made Roller Coaster Tycoon 3.
Oh. What about Colony Wars? Is that still going?
Colony Wars.
It was a PS1 space game. That's probably not still going.
That might be still be
Yeah.
on. Planet Side, is that one still on?
Oh, I've heard of that. Yeah.
Damn.
Planescape.
Wow, I love the box art for Colony Wars.
Yeah, it's a good one.
That's good stuff.
It's good stuff. Yeah,
Wow.
Elite Dangerous is like it's not it's out, but it's just out. There's like nothing else going on with it. It sold 5 million units. That's a lot.
That's
Alright,
pretty
for-
good.
good
that
for
kind
them,
of
good
thing.
for
It's
them.
not bad.
For for that studio's little.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that's
them.
wild. Yeah, sorry. I saw that it came on my radar last night, and I was like, wow, I really want to talk about
I
that.
really just don't understand why they don't go play
No Man's Sky. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's not like realistic.
Oh, is this one realistic? There's no
This one's like
insurance.
there's like yeah, there's no insurance on this
Do you
one.
think is there a Jake from State Farm equivalent
Oh my God.
inside?
Oh. Is there a stand where I can buy
so
Rey
sorry.
Mysterio masks?
Yeah, like what's the
The island of Elite Dangerous.
God,
Yeah,
what if they scanned Flo and put her in?
Man,
Well, I'm not supposed to say it, but she's in
Citizen.
Death Stranding too.
Wow!
I'm kidding.
Dan.
Hideo, I'm kidding.
We're kidding. We promise. Hey, what have y'all been playing or doing? Nikki, I want to start with you. Have you been playing or doing anything like fun? No, you haven't. Shouldn't have started with you then. All right, that's
nah,
fine.
Probably not. Actually, hold on. Let me check an embargo.
Oh,
you know
check
what?
an embargo?
Here's what I'll say.
Yeah.
I've been playing the demo for the new video game to a T.
I also
Which
played
is
that
the
demo.
game-
Oh, yes.
Yes,
Yes,
which is the
yes.
video
Yep.
game where you are a child and your arms are stuck in the T pose.
I believe we can talk about the demo.
We can talk about the demo.
We can talk
We
about,
talk
the,
about the
demo.
demo.
Yeah.
It's really good. It has made me cry like 4 times.
Okay.
I'm
Wow.
particularly soft right now, just generally, but it is
Yeah.
a very sweet game about being a child who is different.
Aw, I love
And
that.
I'm excited to continue to play the full release when it releases on Steam, whenever that is.
And it's publicly available.
Yes, whenever it is
Yes.
publicly available. But for my time with the demo,
The demo.
Crucially, the demo.
crucially the demo, I can
This is a pro
say,
we're watching, folks.
Yeah, I can say that it is great. There's
Yeah.
Rebecca Sugar, the creator of Steven Universe. They play there's a giraffe that makes food for the children in the
Love
city, and they play the giraffe. And there's a little song about how the giraffe wakes up in the morning at like 4 a.m. to bake bread for all of the kids. And it's
Love
very
that.
sweet.
That's very sweet.
The dog helps you you can name the dog. The dog helps you put your pants on in the morning.
Helps you shit.
Helps you shit.
Helps you shit.
The dog helps you put toothpaste on the toothbrush. Your mom has specially designed a faucet that you can use because other faucets you can't use, which is very sweet. Yeah, no, it's really cute. It's a cute, good one of these, like, very much fits in that bucket of video games that I would recommend to people who don't play video games that will be like, wow, I didn't know video games were like this.
Could be like that.
That are like, in that bucket is like Florence and Venba and like games that are kind of that ilk. I think this is a really good one of those.
It doesn't really require any knowledge.
my
Like it's
time.
very
Yeah.
from the demo. Yeah.
From the demo.
Yeah, there's not really like fail states or anything. You know, it's just kind of like you're kind of moving just from vignette to vignette of just like, yeah, here's the part where you're brushing your teeth. Here's the part where you're making cereal. Here's the part where you're doing this. And like, I think it is very, very charming. That opening song and everything. It's just like, I really like that, like WarioWare is one of my favorite games ever. I just love games where it's like, here's this weird shit. Here's this weird shit. Now do this, and just like you're laughing while you're trying to figure out what you need to do next or whatever. And like, I love Katamari. This is from the creator of Katamari. Yeah. But there is just something about like, I've never been one for like narrative games and stories and stuff like that. Not to say that this is like story heavy necessarily.
Yeah, but it is
the
like,
game part of it isn't really.
Yes, it is very much like the things that you are doing are the same things you are doing kind of the whole time. There's no like new mechanics that are
like
again from my time with the demo
So
I don't know. I'm having a good time with it and excited for the full release on the day that it comes out.
On the day. What about you, Dan? Have you been playing anything worth chatting about or doing?
I mean, like I said, most of the time right now is just SGF's coming up. We're just trying our best.
It's big time.
Turns out, when it's just 5 people doing every part of it, there's just a lot involved and a lot of things coming together, coming in hot. But I have had some time to play Deliver at All Costs, which is Konami makes video games again. And
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. I went to that.
They made an active decision to not, and then they said, we're back, actually.
And they're good? Is the thing is like, because I first
they're the HBO Max of video games.
Right. Yeah, I first became aware of this where I went out to England for this press event with Konami that was just, I thought it was just a Snake Eater thing. And then as it got closer, I realized like, oh, there's a couple other games there. And it's like, oh shit, they had Snake Eater, which was awesome. They had Silent Hill 2, which Silent Hill's never been my thing, but obviously Silent Hill 2 fans liked it a lot. And then there was this weird little indie game where you're just driving around isometric 60s city, delivering weird shit and driving straight through buildings and churches and stores and everything, and like incredible physics and destructibility and a really weird, quirky sense of humor, like with the stuff you're delivering. It's not just like boxes or anything. It's always just something super weird where it's like, it's a bomb that if you, touch anything else, it's going to like, nuke explode the whole city. There's, you're delivering a swordfish and painting it so this guy can pretend he caught it to impress a girl and get a date. It's, fireworks are going off. It's just, everything's just like crazy physics sandbox. And it's been super fun. I mean, it's not a game that's like some 10 out of 10 game of the year thing, but it is just, it reminds me of just like a weird ass PS2 game. And there are a few things I have a softer spot for than weird ass PS2 era games. And this kind of made me feel like that, So definitely worth checking out. And I think right now it might be free on the Epic Game Store, I think for like launch week or something. So check Epic if you want to check it out for free. It's very fun.
Yeah, I definitely want to check that out. I want to check both of those out. And I have been checking out Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tactical Takedown. I've got that on my Steam Deck. Works well on that. That's a strange scaffold joint. And it is a small, it's like I think about 5 hours long. It's a pretty short game, but it's got like some nice, cool technical mechanics. It doesn't go too far with it. It is a brief experience, but I've been enjoying that. So if you like the Ninja Turtles, if you like little tactical games, it's a fun one of those. I also think it is at a discount right now. I think it's like $30 off on Steam, something like that.
It's not the one. So sorry.
No,
it's not
okay.
the one that is It's a side scroller beat 'em up, right? It's not.
Yeah, Shredder's Revenge.
No, it's not.
Shredder's
Revenge is that.
That also just came out though, right?
In the last like a year ago or so.
Like that was like a year and a half ago, something like that. But yeah, this is more like tactical, turn-based stuff, which is a fun genre for me. So I enjoyed that. And Strange Scaffold, once again, trying to launch about 8 to 28 games a year, which is really interesting. So
Yeah, and they're
there
mostly
is a-
pretty good.
Hold on. No, they did. Sorry.
wait, that game is.
Are you thinking
that
of
game
Rita's
just-
Rewind?
are you
There's a
thinking of
Power
Rita's-
Rangers game that
Power
just came out.
Rangers.
Power
That's
Rangers.
Rita's Rewind. That
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splintered Fate.
Oh, what was that one? That is another thing. And then there's the Cowabunga collection. I feel like in the last couple of years, there's been like
There's
numerous
like 9
Turtles things.
Turtles games.
Yeah.
This one is like a roguelike.
Okay.
And it's from 2020. I understand what has happened. Okay.
You
so
set your date on your computer
Yep.
to 2020.
This game
Got
was
it.
an Apple Arcade exclusive. Because I just turned on my PlayStation
okay.
the other day, and they were like, "Yo, have you heard of this video game, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles:
Right.
Splintered Fate?" And I was like, "No."
Oh, sure. Okay.
But it just came to PlayStation 2 days ago.
That makes sense.
Is
Okay.
why I thought the
I
video
see.
game was new, but it is
That
not.
makes sense.
It was
That
an
makes
Apple
sense.
Arcade game that has now been ported.
That makes sense. Perfect.
Does the Turtles guy still get money?
The original Turtles
um,
guy?
Yeah, like the
comic
guy who
guy?
made Turtles. Is he alive still?
I think he's alive. I wonder if it's the thing where he sold it forever ago and just kind of made bank and, other companies run it now. I'm not sure.
What, Eastman and Laird?
Yeah, I
It's
hope they're
Eastman's the
okay.
guy with that one funny picture, right? You've seen the funny picture?
I think
With him in the sunglasses. Where he
Yeah,
looks like
he's
Ron
holding
Howard?
he's holding action figures. Man, that's my only frame of reference for him, and I can't even produce the picture. So sorry about that.
That's all right. It's like that sometimes.
I'm gonna look up Kevin Eastman photo that Dan likes.
It's just a funny looking picture. He's like doing a little like smirk and holding up an action figure of like Donatello or something. Yeah, I'm finding nothing here.
I'm finding nothing. I'm finding.
I'm sorry.
I'm finding images of Kevin Eastman as an action figure,
Oh, that's
but
weird.
not
Okay.
not the photo that you're thinking of.
Okay. Well, I've
but
disappointed
yeah.
everyone, and I
No,
apologize.
it's all right. No, it's okay. It's okay. By the way, we're back around now to asking more Hive questions. Go to vgbs.com/join. You can join the Hive and ask us questions every single week. Hey, what's the dumbest game you would want to play on the Sphere in Las Vegas?
Ooh.
Question.
Great question. Thanks,
mean-
Jason.
My mind went right to Fantavision, but I actually think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, on the inside or the outside?
Oh, good. That's important. If it's the outside, it's Tetrasphere.
It's a pretty good question.
It's
Yeah.
Tetrasphere on the outside.
On the outside.
Um,
I just think Tetris Effect on the inside would bang. It's not really
good.
dumb. I think that's just a good idea.
that's just cool. Like in VR, being a little high is like that's
Yeah.
just a great time.
It's just a good time.
Yeah.
Dumbest.
Dave Mira BMX 2. That's my
BMX
That's
Triple X
dumb.
on the inside of the sphere is pretty good.
Triple X
My-
on the inside is pretty fun, but it's like, yeah, I would probably just play the original Dave Mira.
Yeah. That makes
What
sense.
about the
Maybe
Wheelman? What about the Wheelman, the Vin Diesel game?
Wheelman
the
would
Vin
be
Diesel game? Yeah.
Yeah,
good.
that'd be stupid.
Yep.
Oh, what about the Blob?
The Blob would be great.
The Blob would be great.
Yeah.
The Blob would be good. Thomas Was Alone. This is a game about squares on
God,
the
that's
sphere.
funny. That's a really good
That's
one,
funny.
John.
That'd be
That's
pretty good.
That's
a
good.
good one.
I think Mike Bithell would probably be like cool with that. If like maybe, do you think he would pay for us to do that?
Almost
I'll ask
definitely.
him.
He's
I'll ask
he's
him.
definitely got the coin.
He's got that
to
Tron
rent
money
out-
now.
He's got the Tron money.
He's
to
got that
rent
Tron
out
money.
The sphere. How much
yeah.
do you think the Blob is on the Nintendo eShop right now? The
Wow,
Blob 1.
I'm surprised it's there.
Me
I'm going to
too.
say $29.99.
I'm gonna say 1999.
It is $29.99.
Whoa!
That's nuts.
That is
that is a
crazy.
$5 video game.
That
Okay?
is
Yeah.
crazy.
Why it should have been $29.99 in like 2006.
Jeez.
Yeah. Wow.
That's incredible. That's really good. Yeah, no, that's a great question, Jason. Thank you so much for asking it. You died, and woke up in another world. Would you rather start your new life in Mario Party or Fortnite? That's a pretty easy question.
No, it's Mario Party.
Well, no way.
No
I would,
way.
I
I'm not
would
even
definitely-
thinking. I'd be like, Is the plot of Ready Player One that the kid played so much of the game that it becomes his life and he's really good at it?
Yeah,
Because if that
pretty
is the
much.
plot of the movie, then that's me in Mario Party. It's like, oh, Honeycomb Havoc, I know how to do this.
Wait, but are there stores? Like, where do you get? Well, I guess there is food.
There's so many places. There's whole islands that are just
there's-
made of food.
Yeah.
But that's,
made
I
of
think,
food.
the beauty of Fortnite, though.
There's
right?
a cake I can walk on.
Yeah.
But all that shit is also in Fortnite. I think the
Slurp juice? You're going to live off slurp juice?
I
you
can
got
get whatever I
Slurp
want in
juice.
Crime City.
Exactly. They've got Crime City.
There's the
Sometimes
burger
Darth
place.
Vader is there. The burger place is there.
Tomatoes.
And
There's a
then
whole town of tomatoes.
The map. There's a whole exactly. The
Yeah.
whole map is gonna change around you until you die.
But people are fucking shooting you.
Yeah, that part's gonna
Yeah,
be tough.
that part's
part
not
is
great.
tough.
Mario Party, someone's just going to
Yeah,
like
nobody's gonna kill you.
yeah, Bowser's going to like take your money or whatever, but he's not going to hurt you.
But do you think it hurts more to fall in the lava in any of the Mario Party mini games that involve lava?
No, because like
or do you
the
think
thing
it
is when
hurts
you
more to get shot
no,
in Fortnite?
It's getting shot because if you fall in lava in Mario Party Land, you're not. It's not Terminator sinking into lava. It's you go whoa, whoa, and like your fucking pants don't even get singed.
that's true.
You just get
That's
like a
true. You
little,
just bounce.
and then you just fly up
Yeah,
into
you fly out.
safe landing.
You're
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
I still
it's
think
definitely Mario Party.
Because I get to drive a car,
Yeah, I want a car.
like kind of wherever.
Yeah.
There's
want.
cars in Mario, but there's definitely
But
cars
they're
in
not-
Mario
it's
Party.
not the same. Is
They have
it?
race cars. They have F1 tracks in Mario Party.
That's true.
That's true. They do. If you aren't counting the rich world of the mini games, it's a pretty expansive.
There's
it's
a
pretty
lot
expansive
going
place.
on. There's so
There's
many
a lot going on.
pancakes and
Check
restaurants.
State
and-
Farm in Mario Party.
Not yet.
I'm out.
I wonder if there's
so-
going to be a point
you know
where it's
what?
like, you know, at a
If
certain.
they put Sabrina Carpenter in Mario Party, I will change my
Oh,
mind.
I'm
changing
picturing
your
a world where it's like, you know, like somehow, believe it or not, Vince McMahon never wanted ads on the ring. And somehow he kept that like
Yeah,
sacred
that's
for all of his
crazy.
faults and everything. He's like, I'm
Yeah.
not going to, like, he's like the most just gross capitalist of all time, but he never sold out the ring canvas. And
Yeah.
as soon as he was out, Nick Khan and the TKO guys and stuff were like, oh,
9
let's fucking
ads.
Hulk Hogan be here, Saudi Arabia, go to town. Like, what if like Miyamoto dies and Nick Khan takes over?
Oh, dude.
Then all of a sudden, the floodgates are open.
Yeah, what
It's
if
not going to be Peach
more-
Motors or Bowser Oil in Mario Kart. It's fucking Castrol GTX.
No, there's no one-up
But they
mushroom.
put
It's
in-
just prime energy.
Yes,
Ah,
100%.
man.
Logan Paul against Luigi.
One of the things that I am the most curious about, because to that point, Dan, Nintendo really doesn't do a brand. They will like go outside and be like, Mario will stand next to this, but like not really. But that Mercedes
Yeah.
Benz collaboration for Mario Kart 8,
Yeah.
who called who?
Who called who? Right.
Was that Mercedes calling Nintendo, or did
Yeah,
Nintendo
Bill
call
Mercedes called Shigeru Miyamoto. Yeah.
Who gave who money?
Yeah.
Right.
How much was it?
I would think Mercedes would have to pay Mario Kart. 'Cause
Right?
By the time that happened, that game was like 4 or 5 years into its run, and it was still selling
and
like
it was,
crazy.
Yes. How many people? You get a survey at the end of your car buying process, which is how it goes. They say, "How did you hear about us?" How many people on God's green earth said, "Well, I learned about the GLA
From
in Mario
Nintendo.
Kart 8." Because
The
that
answer's
number
not
has to
zero.
be, it can't
It's
be
not
zero.
zero. It's not zero.
And I
man.
think if we stop doing it, we don't go to SGF.
Okay.
We just commit all of those resources, all of those dollars, all of that time to finding somebody who bought a GLA because they saw it for the first time in Mario Kart 8.
That's good. That's good.
It's good.
Yeah.
I think there's something
Good.
there.
There's something there. I totally agree. Hey, Lovic asks, hey, my first gaming experiences were PlayStation 2 PC, so I never really experienced a whole lot of games before that era. What are some lesser known pre-PS2 gems? That's covering a lot of ground, Lovic.
Yeah.
You'd recommend checking out on handheld emulator of choice.
Kickle Cubicle.
Dude,
that?
what a fucking pull.
You know?
I know. I'm
Kickle
obsessed with
Cubicle
that game.
kicks ass.
I
That's a
fucking
fun
love that
game.
game.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Still fun.
That's a great NES game if you like puzzle action games. That's pretty much that top
Like a
down,
ton of levels.
Body?
pushing blocks, a lot of levels, some boss fights. Like that's a great game.
It feels like an indie game that could come out now on Steam, you know? Like
100%.
it aged pretty well.
Yeah. Really good pull. I would say Mischief Makers on Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
Go play that. It is a treasure. I'm gonna say platformer, but boy, it is a genre bending. There's a lot of stuff going on, and it's one of my favorite games from the N64 era. That I think a lot of people in the know, like in my circle, know about, but I think outside of it, not so much.
I think Namco Museum is awesome.
Oh, sure.
I really like
yeah.
Namco Museum.
They were kind of the first ones to do that,
Yeah, to have a collection of emulated games. Because for me, I didn't know what any of them were. There was a Pac-Man machine at Tito's Tacos in Culver City. You love Tito's Tacos. I love Tito's too. The only thing that you need to know about Tito's. Wait, no, hold on. The only thing better than a Tito's Taco is two. Is what the
that's
song
good.
on the
That's
radio
good.
says.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Anyway, in that one, you walk around as a formless, human-heighted creature, and you walk into these rooms that have big tables at which you walk up to them, and you can play Rally X.
Right.
And then you walk around some more, and then you get to play Pac-Man. And I just liked the idea that there would be a building on the extant planet that we all live on that is just 5 old video games.
Yeah, that sounds great.
It's a cool thing. I don't know how novel it is now, but I really liked it. It
was super novel back then because that was PS1 they started doing those. And they did 5 volumes and each one was NAMCO, really sharp cover art. And then they started doing Midway Arcade Treasures on PS2 and Xbox. And that was Narc and Mortal Kombat and stuff. So now it's so easy to play old games. But back then it was just shit, I can't emulate anything past NES back then. It's I can actually play these now.
Lovic, I would also suggest from the PS1 era, if you like RPGs, play Vagrant Story and Xenogears. Just do that. Those 2 games are fucking wild for different reasons. So yeah, check those out. But there's a lot of ground to cover. Fucking Vector Man.
I love
Sega
Vector
Genesis.
Man. Yep.
Go check that out. That's a weird one.
Incredible Crisis for PS1. It's a weird WarioWare-esque thing. Pre-WarioWare.
Yep. That's a good one. Yeah, there are a lot of weird games. Good question. I'll keep
Gran
brainstorming.
Turismo. It's a little one that people might
really
miss.
weird. Yeah.
I mean, I will tell you, those still hit. Those old ones are still really good.
Gran Turismo is
still really fucking good.
A-Spec?
3 is the best one.
Yeah.
Yep.
But 2 is also very good if you want to go pre PS2. Okay, now you are in charge of designing your own arcade. What games does it have? What kind of accoutrement does it have? Thank you, Electric Gauntlet, for asking this question.
It's a boring answer because I feel like every barcade kind of does this, but it's I think everyone knows now what the ones are that are crowd pleasers, and it's going to be Mortal Kombat, Blitz, Jam. It's going to be The Simpsons, the Turtles 2, or I guess it was Turtles 1 in the arcade, but just a lot of brawlers, beat 'em ups, fighting games. A Virtua Fighter. You don't see as much Virtua Fighter or Tekken in the barcades.
No,
you always see Mortal
I wish
Kombat
you
and Street
did.
But
I'd love it. I'd love a Tekken 3 machine. I'd love a Virtua Fighter.
1 and 2.
I'm so nostalgic for 1, honestly, but
Same.
2 as well would be good. Yeah.
There's a bar near me, John. It's the place that we were gonna have the mixer at, but are no longer.
No.
Because it was $1 billion.
Because it was. Wait, real quick, Dan.
What is the?
We just okay. We got 2 quotes from 2 places.
Okay, this is great because I've been deep in the SGF getting quotes game right now.
So the place we're having it, okay, and the place we were quoted and passed. What's the cost of going to the one that we picked versus the one that we did not pick?
Okay, so the one you
Let's
picked,
say
this is a one-night thing?
1 night thing, 150 people, 3 hours.
3 hours, not open bar.
Not open bar.
But we are
so just the
them.
space.
We are feeding people at the event. So there's
from the event, is the food coming from the venue?
Yes.
So you're paying for that?
Yes.
Okay, so no alcohol. 1 night. You said 3 hours?
3 hours.
Ooh, man, I'm mental math here because I've been looking at 5 nights for 2 of them are production event nights and 3 of them are just it's just so I'm gonna have to do some math here. I'm gonna say the one you didn't go with was $2,500. No, I don't know which angle that laugh came from. All right, and the one you went with is 1,200.
Okay. You are pretty much on the dot with the 1,200.
Okay.
Yes. So
What was the
like
one?
25,000.
No.
$1,000 American
Dollars.
Were you going to
Yes.
own the bar?
So for the I'm looking at the quote right now.
Yeah.
For the room, $2,500. For food, $45 a head. That's $6,700.
Okay.
Assuming an open bar of $75 a person, that's 11 grand.
Wait, so they were assuming you wanted an open bar?
They were
Yeah.
assuming yes, but
Okay.
it's still way more
Yeah,
expensive.
even not
without
including
that.
the open bar.
Yeah,
it
that's
is-
still way too much.
It's only 10 grand.
That's crazy.
And then 300 of arcade money.
Money, yeah, which would be fun.
$300?
Yeah, converted into quarters. Is
They don't just turn on free play?
Wouldn't it have been easier?
wouldn't it have
to
been
just
cool
turn
to
on
You
do
can,
that?
you can just
Yeah.
flip a switch in the back.
It's
And,
a
yeah,
switch
it's not
in
that
the back.
bad. Yeah.
Really dumb.
Huh.
Anyway,
Killer Queen Black. There was a bar in San Francisco when I was living there called who the fuck knows, whatever. It was one of the
a bad
arcade
name.
bars in the city. Yeah, I know, really bad. Typing into Uber was tough. They had Killer Queen Black, which was awesome. That is a
game.
really good game to play with
really
other
good game.
people who you do not know in that kind of setting.
Yep.
The Minecraft Dungeons port, the arcade version of Minecraft Dungeons, which is at Dave & Buster's, I think exclusively, is really fun. Like, it's really fun. It does not feel like a Diablo-like would be conducive for drop-in play that way, but it is. It also prints out physical cards that are items that you can then use later, and if you play the game again. So I would love those two machines. Obviously set on free play, but I would love those two machines in there.
Those could be fun, like the drop in, like Diablo type thing, like Gauntlet Legends and
Gauntlet
Dark Legacy.
Legends were
Like
fun.
those were fun. Yeah.
yeah. Hydro Thunder. You got to have one of those.
Yeah, you gotta have
With
one
the
of those
actual
things.
pedals and the
With the
actual
pedals and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Hydro Thunder and a Daytona USA. All
Yes.
I want to play Daytona USA 2 so badly. Or
Oh,
3.
sure.
Whatever the HD one is. There's like
Right.
they
Oh.
released one last decade.
Oh,
You
wow.
can look it up.
Yeah.
Daytona USA 2.
Daytona.
The weird Mario Kart from Namco that never came out elsewhere with like the cameras. Yeah.
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 That's a really weird one. I would also
Championship USA is what it's called.
there's a place here that it's called Cidercade, which is just cider and a bunch of arcade machines, obviously. I would do that, but not for cider because fucking cider, no thanks. I'm good. I don't need 30 different kinds of cider. Maybe some beer.
Yeah.
Maybe we make our own. Maybe we make our own mezcal. Like I don't know.
No, fuck that. I did have an incredible cider over the weekend. That was
Okay.
a mint julep cider, and John. It was delicious.
That sounds great.
I'll bring you a crowler. I'll bring all crowlers of it.
Hell yeah.
Next
Oh,
week,
good.
or
I'll
in
drink
2
a
weeks.
whole
It's just one
growler
crowler.
of. Okay.
Julep.
Yeah. Oh, hello. Wow, I've had this whole mint julep cider in one sitting. Let's go play some video games.
Do you think that the Mario Kart arcade version is any good?
It's interesting in the novelty. It's
okay.
not bad. It's
Yeah.
just like it's more this novelty of like I've played every Mario Kart for hundreds of hours.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden there's this weird arcade one where it's like I can be Pac-Man. It's like the fuck
yeah,
is
yeah,
this?
yeah.
You know?
Namco made a Mario Kart game, which is
Yeah.
so nuts.
Yeah. So I can't see that without playing a round or two. Yeah.
I would say the only things I would really probably bring from a Dave & Buster's would be the Crossy Road and Doodle Jump machines.
Oh, Doodle Jump, the
love
big
those.
vertical screen. Yeah.
Wow, big vertical
Yep.
series. Those are kind of fun.
What about Fruit Ninja?
No.
I might do. I might do
No, I would quicker have the Kung Fu Panda.
the Kung Fu Panda bongo thing. Yeah,
hit the
Sure.
bongos.
Yep,
than,
Sure.
yep.
than
I would have
Yeah.
that. I would definitely have that. I'd have COVID testing at the door.
Mhm, that's a great game. Yeah.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
See how far you can get the PCR test in your
Yeah.
nose.
Yep,
I'd
yep,
gotta-
it's a
I'd gotta
peripheral,
go-
yeah.
I'd have someone basically just doing fever checks at the door. That's like pretty much what I
Yep,
would
yep.
do.
One of the walls is just skee ball.
Okay,
That's good. That's
I like
skee-ball's
We've
great.
got skee ball, and we have maybe two of the instead of at the end. No, okay, 3/4 of the wall is skee ball.
Yes.
2 Papa Shop machines, and then we have that one there's also a Dave and Buster's game where it is like fucking long table, ping pong ball, beer pong.
Ping pong.
Oh yeah.
Except it's just digital beer pong, and you bounce it on the table, and there's this huge like pad of lights, and you have to turn them colors. You can play them with multiple people, and you take turns, and the goal is to have the most squares your color by the end of the round.
They had that when I was growing up at arcades, but it was like a Bozo the Clown branded thing, which is the oldest sounding thing I can imagine.
Wow.
Yeah,
and it's just like 5 buckets in a row, and you're trying to go one after another as far as possible. Yeah. You know what?
That's good.
Speaking of the oldest possible thing, is something I think about every once in a while. Nothing will make me feel older than the fact that I have had an in-person conversation with Bob Hope.
Holy shit, Dan.
Yeah. In Branson, Missouri, I talked to Bob Hope in person.
In Branson? What were you doing in Branson?
My dad and I were there for some reason because, like, I grew up in Kansas City. Branson's basically the big city, you know. It's the big whatever. And we're walking to like dinner or something from the hotel, and we walked. I'm like 8 or 9 years old. I have no idea who the fuck Bob Hope is. And then we walk past this old couple on the sidewalk, and then my dad sees a sign at this hotel that's like, "Welcome, Mr. and Mrs. Bob Hope." And my dad just 180s and starts sprinting in the other direction. Like,
oh my God.
Catch up! And I was like, what the fuck is going on? He didn't say anything. Didn't say anything about Bob Hope. He's just sprinting, and then I catch up to him, and he's just talking to the oldest man I've ever seen. And he's like, son, this is Bob Hope. This is a legend. And I shook Bob Hope's hand. I shook Mrs. Hope's hand. I have no idea who this ancient man is. And now I look back and I'm like, oh my God, that feels so old that I've talked to Bob Hope.
That's
crazy. That is nuts.
Wow.
That's really nuts.
Yeah.
I've only been into his airport. So
it's a nice
fine airport.
Yeah.
It's a nice airport.
Yeah.
All right, we got one last question. Imran Khan, friend of the show, asks,
wow.
if you had to fight one of the Mario brothers, Mario, Luigi, Wario, or Waluigi, and win, which would you choose?
Oh.
Luigi.
I guess Wario.
You think you could win? Wait, did you say win or
No,
lose?
saying I thought in this scenario we are going to win. And I thought the question is which one would you not feel bad about beating up?
I'm going to interpret this differently. I'm going to say which of them could you beat?
Oh, none.
No, well, yeah, the answer is none. But Luigi, I think that you could, with a combination of cruel things said out loud,
wedgies
at him, yeah,
and
like physical violence,
insulting
so
stuff.
You think you could kind of cut Luigi down to size, so he just is kind of like,
and then I would beat him up. Yeah.
Have you played the Mario and Luigi games? Like he's got a major inferiority complex.
Yeah. So I think I would probably prey on that first.
Yeah.
Get him softened up, and then I would kind of go at it. You can't do Wario. He's very strong.
Oh yeah, he'd be like. I misheard the question. I certainly, out of all of them, Wario would be the one you could not beat the shit out of at all.
I think to go to the original interpretation, I would also fight Wario if I knew I was going to win.
Yeah, I thought that was the question. Is like, hey, you're gonna beat one of these dudes up. Which one would you feel the least bad about? You know,
it's a little confusing the intent of the question. So
sure,
I would beat up Wario, but I think Luigi would be the easiest one to cut down.
He can jump so high though.
He can jump high, but he'll never be as good as Mario, and I'll say that to his face. I'll say that to his
and many
face.
have. Yeah.
And many have, you know. Mm-hmm. You have to vacuum ghosts. That's your claim to fame. Good job.
And you kind of suck at it. You're just afraid all the time. Yeah,
you're just afraid all the time.
Yeah.
Hey, go to VGBs.com/join and join the Hive. You can ask us questions every single week. We really appreciate it. Hey, I also said if you leave us a 5-star review and leave us a review, I will read it on the air. I have 2 this week.
Wow.
One is from Suffy Gaming, 5 stars. Says fantastic. Nope. Let's start that over.
Fantastic Jordan, cut that
pod. Jordan, cut that out. Fantastic pod from 2 people with questionable taste in PB&J. Wheat bread is good on PB&J. It feels healthy. I'm a granola man.
Hold on. Wait. As someone who eats a peanut butter sandwich every day, had one a few hours ago. What is the discourse here?
I just don't like
don't
wheat
remember.
bread generally.
I don't like wheat bread generally.
Really
It's-
remember this.
I
yeah.
don't.
What about like
That's the other beautiful thing about this gig,
We
right?
just- we
you
just
talk into a
never
microphone
remember.
and
Yes.
none of it means
Never
anything. But for
remember.
someone else, it is the most infuriating thing anyone's ever said.
But for
have
me,
you
it was
had
Tuesday.
Yes. No, my peanut butter. I've gone through the whole gamut of breads for peanut butter. My current one of choice is the murder bread. You know the murder bread.
What is the
Dave,
murder bread?
It's the Dave's murder
Dave's
bread.
killer bread.
It's a
Yeah,
guy
I
that got out of
know.
jail.
Got it.
It's a guy that got out of
Yes.
jail, and he gives jobs to other murderers in Oregon, and they make bread, and it's good as hell.
And it's
I
good.
don't like his woke bread because it is too seeded. I don't
Dude,
want
the thing.
seeds
There's whole
in my
grain
bread.
and shit. Look, you don't have to worry about like hey, your body's not falling apart yet. We have to worry about nutrition.
I don't want.
If I don't have
want
murder
seeds
bread,
in there.
if I have Wonder Bread, I'm gonna die.
Listen, I don't want the bread to have texture other than bread. The
Okay.
It's just
hardest.
seeds and stuff. Yeah, it's good.
I
for
don't
you.
want seeds in my bread.
I might as well be eating chunky peanut butter, which I won't eat.
Oh, I go
So
super chunk all day.
You go super chunk all day. Okay.
All day. I
usually-
can never. I've put extra peanuts into super chunk before.
Wow, that's a lot. You're
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
doctoring your own chunky peanut butter. Okay.
And I'd never had jelly until maybe 5 or 6 years ago. So I mean, I was just going chunky ass peanut butter for a very long time. No jelly.
No jelly.
No
So
bananas. Yeah.
So you are not a PB&J fan until
I was
recently.
a PB. I've had 20,000 peanut butter sandwiches. I've had.
Yeah.
I've probably had a few hundred peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, but like
Okay.
most of my last 300 have probably been peanut butter and jelly with an occasional peanut butter and banana.
What is the jelly?
What do you mean? It's
But
like
what
fruit
kind of-
paste?
No. Oh. What
Nikki,
kind of
what's-
jelly?
Mike, Dan, tell us about bread. Where does that originate? What's the origin of bread?
Yeast.
Yeast? Or what
Yeast?
jelly do you
Sometimes.
like? On your,
What jelly?
Yeah.
Bianca gets the stuff that's like it looks like it's like a homemade thing in like a jar with like a picnic table top.
Oh, picnic
thing you
table,
screw
yeah,
on.
yeah,
It says
yeah,
like
yeah,
it's like preserves and it's like in a glass
yeah.
thing. It's pretty good. Yeah, I do like the idea of the squeeze bottle though because that just seems so much easier.
Here is something that is so incredible, Dan. You have given me two full-throated answers about
I
the
know,
jelly,
I know, but not
and
told
you
us
have
what
not
flavor.
told me what kind of jelly it is.
Yeah. Like what
Glass
flavor?
jar,
What color is it?
dark purple.
Okay, we're getting somewhere.
We're getting somewhere. Would you identify it as grape?
I think it says mixed on the thing.
Mixed
I think it
berry.
says.
Okay.
I think it's mixed berries.
It's mixed berry.
But I have had
That-
like the
that
Smuckers,
tracks.
like at a diner, they have the Smuckers gimmicks where it's like it says grape or strawberry. I've had both
Yes.
those.
Yeah,
I haven't
okay.
had peach. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so it's probably mixed berry.
It's
then.
probably
I think
mixed
currently I have mixed berry in the
That
fridge.
tracks.
Yes.
berry. Okay.
That's
that
good.
tracks. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I'm a
That's-
strawberry jelly person.
Okay. No one's perfect.
Personally.
It's jelly is really good with peanut butter. I completely understand
It
the
is.
deal
It
now.
just
Yeah.
goes.
It is.
Yeah.
We have another review. This one is from Cap'n Haggis, a podcast about video games, 5 stars. Due to recent, I'm sorry, speaking of speaking of bits that get old, due to recent brand safety mandates, it looks like I'm in the market for a new favorite video game podcast. And wow, is VGB's in the running. I started saying stuff bangs like Nikki does, and all of my IRL friends think I'm cooler, smarter, and more attractive. It can work for you too. Listeners of the show should also go check out If You're Driving, Close Your Eyes. I agree. Wow. That
I've
was
been
a
listening
2
to
for
that.
1.
That makes me laugh a lot. Yes.
That was a 2 for 1. Thank you so much. I really appreciate Captain Haggis. If you leave us a 5-star review, I will read it on the show like I just did just now. If you leave us something outside the U.S. store, you got to fucking tell me about it. I'm not going to go look at New Zealand's store and look. I'm not going to do that. I actually did look up Canada today, which is where I got Captain Haggis. So thank you so much for
Wow,
your
thank you.
wonderful reviews. All right, let's get the fuck out of here, huh? We've been doing this for a little while. Dan, what
Yeah.
a pleasure. Thank you
Hey,
so
likewise.
much.
Thank you.
This is fantastic.
For coming on. We will see you in a couple weeks at SGS, of course. But in the meantime, where can people find you? What do you want people to know about Giant Bomb? All that stuff.
GiantBomb.com is independent games media, 100% independent. No weird company ahead of us or above us or anything. Like,
Yer.
there's a reason we didn't say subscribe for the last several years, because we didn't see any of that money, and now we see all of it minus whatever fees or whatever. So yes, support independent games media. Giantbomb.com/join. If you just want to watch, all of our stuff is free. YouTube, Twitch, Giant Bomb. You can find us wherever. And I am danryckert.com on Blue Sky, and I'm also Dan Ryckert on Twitch.
Thanks, Dan. Nikki, what you got for us?
Make You Think .club. Good one this week. I started writing it already, which again is a bad sign for my mental health. But
oh no, if you started it early, it's good for us.
I've started watching television again, and I have
Designated Survivor.
I started watching Andor, and I started watching Barefoot Contessa Be My Guest, which is where Ina Garten...
Nikki, we gotta talk about that.
Ina Garten brings on her friends, and they just chat for a while, and there are 20 episodes ? And I think one black person has been on the show, which is really funny. But the one I watched yesterday was Stephen Colbert and his wife and Ina Garten. And if you just want to like listen to rich white people talk for a while,
about
it is like
what?
About being white. Really?
There's not a lot to talk about, really.
Dan, they figured it out for quite a few episodes.
Really?
There's a lot of it. Yeah. They talked about Stephen Colbert and his wife talked about how they met and how they worked together because she's a producer on his show.
Yep.
So, but it's like the reason I said it like that is because it's
so
like
much disdain for this thing that they're watching every episode of.
It's not that. The reason I said it like that is because it's like anything else. Like they've almost definitely told that this is how we've met and we're professionals who are married and work together. Like I'm frustrated with the program not because of the content of it, but because it could be better if anybody on it tried.
If anybody,
but instead they are doing what they should do, which is cashing checks.
Sure,
they get to hang out with their friends on camera, and then they hang out.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. So anyway, make you think .club.
Good one this week. Club. Hey, go to bgbs.com/join. That's what I got. I'm floppyadult.com over on Blue Sky. And hey, if you're at DreamHack Dallas this weekend, you can go play video games with your feet over at the Glider booth, 36A. Go to feetlegal.com if you want a glider. These will ship out at the end of June, so you better get yours right now. All right, folks, let's get out of here. Until next time, keep on buzzing!